Sorry, I always have to get up out of my seat for that song.
It makes me bob my head. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Wednesday Night Live. And tonight, we're going to talk about Christmas gifts, what to get the vapor for Christmas. And I kind of broke it down. So we'll have Christmas gifts that are $20. We'll have Christmas gifts that are $50. Christmas gifts that are $100, and Christmas gifts for those that if you really, really love them, over $100.
and I'll put some icing on the cake to that whole thing when we're done.
All right.
Thanks, Morgan.
I'll add a little flavor to the whole thing.
All right, good, perfect. And Tom's got a homebrew juice review. That's all I think I can think about it. Homebrew juice review.
That's all you can say about it because it has no name, it has no label. Yeah. There's nowhere you can buy it, no nothing. You got to know somebody.
I have one question. I have one question before we go any further. And for the peanut gallery, everybody watching the show, how many people think Tom is being festive or he's falling through space?
I'm competing with you, Tim, and right now I'm winning because my lights are better.
I'm waiting.
I feel like Tom just fell through a black hole. Oh shit! There goes Mars.
I'm waiting for Frosty the Snowman to pop out somewhere behind him there. Something.
No, I'm not going to go that far. I think I'm done with the.
If you have any home brew e-liquid you want sampled, send it to Tom.
Send it to Tom.
I'll try it.
I'll try it.
I'll try anything once, twice if I like it.
Yeah. Tim's got some news and advocacy. Paul, I think, has some news and advocacy, worldwide news, and the Euro. We'll call it the Euro. The other side. The other side of the world. The other side of the world. What is up, homie?
The other side of the pancake
or cloud.
Where the water spins the other way.
Sup, right? Thomas? Who's Facebook user? Yo, homies.
That's either Captain Nasty or Cloud
Miko.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's up, Mallory? What's up, Morgan? I saw Luke in there. What's up, Luke? Who else? Jeff Danny Boy up in the house.
Yeah, got Morgan. Is in the house.
Yeah,
fourth place in our fantasy football league.
Yes, but you
had a hell of a conversation before we went live. I missed all of that.
What else we got, guys? I think that's it. We're going to talk Christmas gifts, some advocacy. Tom's going to do a homebrew juice review, and that's it. Let's see how the boys are doing this week. Tim, how's your week going, buddy?
It's been, I don't know. I feel like I'm just go. Get ready for the holidays. All kinds of stuff going on. You got to worry about parties coming up. You got to worry about finding last minute gifts. You got to worry about like what are you going to get for yourself because there's always gifts to self. And right, and then there's work on top of all that, and it's chaos because everybody's prepping for the holiday, and we got containers coming in, and it's one thing after another. So. I thought I'd share a fun little vaping story, fun or funny vaping story. So, I'm all about innovation. I'm all about things about devices that make them inherently better or the vape experience cooler or whatever, right? But it's all about the same thing, right? It's all about, finding that satisfaction in your vape. And so we all look at technology and we're like, man, I think I might like that, whether it's a top airflow tank or some kind of different sort of design that, routes the air differently and hits the coil better and gives you more clouds and more flavor, or it's that cool mod that. Anyway, long story short, I've been kind of rolling the easy peasy lemon squeezy replaceable coil tanks, right? The throwaways, right? Because I'm like, I'm lazy. I don't feel like cleaning my wicks. I don't feel like doing any of that stuff. So I've started burning through a lot of my pre-made coils that you just chuck them after a few days. And I have to admit, it's been a while since I revisited that whole element of vaping, but I'm very disappointed in pre-made coil makers. Like everybody from Voopoo to Vaporesso to you name it. I'm utterly disgusted because they're all burning out in like 2 to 3 days. Like that's just pathetic, right? So, and I'm not a heavy chain vaping kind of person. I have to work all day. I can't sit there and vape at work. So I finally got forced in the situation where I got to go back to the tried but true. So I decided to clean out my arbiter, clean the coils, put some fresh new wick in there, put the tank all back together, fill it up with juice, and I go to hit it, and it was the most airiest vape I've ever had in my entire life. I'm like, I have never had a vape that is just that much airflow. And I don't understand. Like, I don't remember it being that way, but maybe I'm spoiled. Maybe because I've been pulling on all these other, shitty little tanks and stuff like that. Maybe I'm not used to all that airflow and the way that it worked before. Well, mind you, try to take this big old rip, and I swear I thought my friggin' toes were going to come out of my throat. I'm like nearly hacking up a lung. I got barely any bit of a pull. Nothing but spit in the back of my throat, and I'm like, I literally was like almost keeled over trying to get rid of this hacking cough. And I thought, no, but I'm a trooper. Let me hit it again. Let me just make sure. So I hit it again. Same thing. I'm like, what the fuck? So I cranked the airflow down, the AFC down is like about halfway, and I'm like, man, this thing is still really airy. I'm like, it's halfway. I mean, it's halfway closed off. I should be getting some restriction. I turned that son of a bitch all the way down to like there was just a sliver showing. And same thing. I'm like, my God, why is this so airy? And as I'm sitting there on my third lung, which I don't have one, but I swear I was coughing it up, I stopped and I just did one of those. And I turned around and looked at my vape desk. I had left out of the tank the little compartmental chimney thing that goes over top of the wicks and the coils.
I was gonna say.
So all the air was just going right.
Yeah.
It was going nowhere.
Wow.
So I just felt like so the moral to the story, kids, is don't be a Tim. Don't be a fucking Tim.
Make sure
put your airflow controlled chimney back on top of the RTA before you shut the tank down. Anyway, things are much better now.
It worked without the chimney portion.
Yeah, but I was getting like little Godzilla Junior puffs. You know what I mean? Like I was like, and like little whiffs of smoke would come out, and I'm like, something's not right. I'm like, man, this thing's juiced up. The tank's full. I mean, did I wick it really bad? I'm like, you're like running through all of the things that could have gone wrong, setting the tank up. And then it all came down to leaving out 1/3 of the device. That's really.
See, that's why I'm sticking with RDAs. They're a lot easier.
Things are much better now. So anyway, that's my week, John. How about you?
Yeah. All right, Paul. How's your week going, buddy?
So far, so good. Just
there you go.
Full up with meetings. That's all I've been doing. Meeting, and reading through government documents that I do not understand. Don't understand them anymore. Forget it.
I was thinking about that the other day when what you just said, and knowing that a lot of the people that are in this industry, weren't in this industry at all, were, young, 21, 22, mid 30s, never owned a company, never owned a business, none of that. And then all of a sudden just having to be a lawyer and just seeing all the stuff that's going on and how to get ahead of it. And I could see why, you know what I mean? I could see why maybe some of them were drawn in the way of just saying, I want out. I can't, I can't deal with, this. And I'm not going to, fuck it. Even a cheap lawyer is $100 an hour.
Yeah. No comment.
No comment. No, I'm talking about a cheap lawyer is $100 an hour. I mean, and to find someone that knows government law, corporate law, and all that other nonsense, you're probably looking at close to $400 or $500 an hour,
or better.
I'm talking a small juice company, not
almost 1,000
left.
no, almost 1,000 an hour.
Yeah, it's got to be frustrating for those people. I get it, but what else has been going on? 125-degree weather yet?
No,
Not yet?
it has stopped raining.
Oh wow.
We've had rain, but there's a bit of sun now in the sky. And over the weekend, I've got to go out and deal with this bamboo situation I've got in my backyard. It looks like a jungle out there.
Get a panda.
Bamboo.
You could make
Yeah.
a raft and paddle
Yeah.
to America.
Spears.
Yeah,
Spears.
I was thinking more along the lines of
Bamboo
harvesting
chairs,
some of the-
furniture.
harvesting some of the larger diameter ones and making all kinds of stuff. But yeah, there's some bamboo
Peace pipe.
furniture.
No, not a-
bamboo.
I watched somebody
No.
make a bamboo pillow.
A what?
Huh?
A bamboo pillow. Took
How is
a-
that even comfortable?
took- It's not a traditional pillow. At first, I was like, "All right, what's he gonna do? Just shave it down and sew it in a bag?" That is not. Wow, Mallory.
That's one hell of a clipper.
Yeah,
Wow.
and it won't nick you. It won't
Right.
nick your sensitive areas.
But anyway, what this guy did was he took this large diameter bamboo, split it in half, sanded it all down, and made it all pretty. Drilled some holes in it, and it's basically just for like right behind the neck.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm like,
Okay,
that,
never heard of it.
that doesn't look that comfortable, but dude made it by hand. It was pretty cool.
Hey, they say that the best thing for your back is to lay on the floor. So
Yeah, and that was all he had was just that little neck pillow type thing.
yeah, I'm not laying.
I don't think you'd catch me on an airplane with that damn thing.
No,
No.
maybe
No
whack
way.
somebody with it.
I don't think it'll work real well.
Anything
All right.
else, Paul, going on in your life? You want to get out there?
Not at the moment.
No.
No. Just
How's your
You know,
love life, Paul?
sleep would be good. Sleep would be good. Sleep would be great, actually.
Mhm.
That's not happening.
I think I'm willing to bet everybody on this panel gets no more than 6 hours.
Last night I got
What?
3.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
probably in Tom's neck of the woods half the time. I feel like.
4.
Yeah.
You guys, all three of you need your fucking beauty sleep.
It's
Just
impossible,
looking-
man.
Just looking at you guys in the camera.
Screw you, old man. I'm the best looking one here.
Yeah. Tom looks like he could use like 3 days of sleep to help him out. but-
I probably could, but I'm still the prettiest one here.
You look the
Oh.
youngest, Tom. The rest of us, we
yeah.
look
I
like
am
we've
the
been
youngest.
been through hell and back.
Yeah.
I believe I
Tim-
am the
Tim-
youngest.
Tim's been married twice. I've been married
Yeah.
once for 20 years. Paul, you got what? You're on your 7th marriage. What are you on?
No, I'm over 9,000 now. Don't worry about it. It's fine. No, I've only been married once. You smart cookie.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, see,
Tim's-
I'm
Tim-
allergic.
Yeah. And Tom, how are things in the snow capital of the world?
Not very snowy today.
Ah.
We are looking at some really bad storms, so if I disappear, it's probably because I either died or my power went out.
Yeah.
It's
How
one or
much
the
snow are you expected to get there, Tom?
other. None today. It's all rain, and it was almost 60 degrees here today, Tim.
Yeah, you believe that? 60?
In the middle of December, and tomorrow it's going to be like 27.
How fucked up is that? One morning you get up, it's 27. The next day you get up, it's 60. It's just like,
Mhm. Yeah,
You
it's,
should move to
I don't
California.
question much anymore. I just get up and just go with the flow. Whatever happens, happens.
oh yeah, potential tornadoes, which with the snow
What?
would make it a snownado, which would be kind of cool to see. Except it's
Ooh.
dark out, and you can.
Snownados and sharknados.
you
What
can
else
see
is
it
there?
better if it's dark, though, especially
No.
if there's any light around.
Yeah, but where I live,
That'd
there's
be
not much
awesome.
light pollution.
That'd be awesome
Oh,
just
wow.
to see a snow tornado.
Okay.
No, that'd be
Wow.
weird.
I'll pass.
Yeah, but I'm not as tall as Paul. I mean, that dude was kind of big.
Yeah, let's just blame Al Gore. Just blame Al Gore.
That's a good one.
What is
Mother Nature's
California
gonna-
in store for the winter? What do you guys have, mudslides and forest fires? Like, what happens in California for the winter?
We
Yeah,
got
you pretty much nailed it, Tim.
45 mile an hour winds the other day that tore shit up, and that's about it. Rain, and that's it. All the ski lodges are officially open, which is crazy that
Wow.
they're all open before Christmas, which is insane. All of them, even the ones below or right at the cuff, 2,000 feet of elevation, they're all open. Everything's
okay.
open right now.
Right on.
They
That's
got,
nuts.
yeah, it's nuts. So it's awesome though, because I mean that industry out here has been hurting for the last several years. I mean, they've had to make snow, and that's not a cheap thing to do. So it's nice that they're all open. I may go up there just to sit in the cabin though, just to sit in the cabin.
So
by
you're
the
going to go to
fire.
a ski lodge and just
No,
to sit
I'm gonna take my skis with me like I skied. I'm gonna pull that old '80s trick where you got your skis and you come in, you throw a little bit of snow on you, get your face nice and red, set the skis next to the fireplace, grab a hot chocolate, and talk about your day. Oh man, I was just ripping on those hills.
John's roughing it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
He's glamping.
fucking
Yeah.
I
city
love
people.
skiing, but I'll say like the last 3 years I've been scared to go back out there just because I know how old I am and how I don't know what's the right word.
Things
I'm not a
break
safe
easier.
skier. I'm not a safe skier. I like things do break easier. But I'm reckless. I'll take chances. I'll see a jump and I'll think, okay, I'm 23 years old. I can do this. So yeah, that's the only thing I'm afraid of.
Doesn't work like that anymore, buddy.
No,
You don't bounce no more,
Got to
John.
protect the goods a little bit more at this
Yeah,
point.
I see myself going into a tree at like 40 miles an hour. That's what I see myself doing.
Well, I mean, you could try to see how Sonny Bono went out. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he died. Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't want to. I don't want to do that.
Don't want to do
I
that.
am interested this year, and I have been working on it with my treadmill, and I have the incline set up way high. I want a snowshoe. I have been turning it down for like the last 5 years, only because I don't feel like my body could handle that. Because it's a different way you walk, and
it's a lot of work.
it's a lot of work. So people that think, oh, it's snowshoeing, it's simple. No, it's not that simple. So I kind of gotten my body prepared for it. I really want to try it this year and see how it goes.
You don't
Hey,
get the
Green-
notifications,
I was
Green
going to
Thumb?
say, I was just going to ask that, Tim.
Green Thumb.
Yeah.
He said the
Oh.
show notification doesn't pop up anymore. I think
Well,
sometimes you have to unsubscribe and resubscribe. I think
Yeah.
or unclick the bell and re-click the bell. I've heard that happens with people from time to time.
Hey, John, you want another good workout for wintertime? Cross country ski.
Yeah, I've done cross country skiing and I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun doing that because I got to carry my camera with me. I
Mhm.
knew I wasn't going to shred. I wasn't going to end up falling and stuff like that. So I got some really great pictures that way. But snowshoeing is something I really want to give it a try. Nothing too extreme, but they have like a trail up it. I'm sure you guys all have heard of big trees, right? Out here in
I've heard
California.
of Big Bear, but not big trees.
Oh, big trees. It's a section over here in Calaveras County where all the big redwoods are that are
Well,
like
Do you have
years
do you
old.
have bullfrog races or frog races there too?
Yes, Calaveras has the frog jumping contest. Yeah,
That's right. There you
and
go.
then you go and eat frog legs all day. It's great, and then go to the
Yum.
winery and drink wine all day. Yeah, come on, no one.
Sounds like a party.
You've never had frog legs, Tim?
I don't know. There's just something about seeing them in a jar just makes it completely
They're
unappetizing.
not in a
and
jar.
Oh
They're
man,
fried.
come on.
I'll
They're
pass.
Yeah,
fried. You get
I'll
a little
pass.
basket. You get a little
I'm okay.
basket of frog
I-
leg.
That's
No,
it.
if I'm gonna have anything like that, it's gonna be chicken wings.
Yeah, and garlic
Bigger.
dipping sauce.
They're meatier.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah, and a glass of white wine, dude. It's
Oh.
perfect. It's perfect day. And then you take your little basket and your glass of wine. You go out to the street and watch the poor frogs jump around, racing to the finish line
While you're eating the losers.
Sounds
while
like
you're
a
eating the losers.
hell of a
Yeah.
day.
That works.
Wow.
Yeah,
But I can do that.
yeah. I mean, you got to try it. You got to try it. I'm sure in your neck of the woods, Tim, there's got to be some place that serves frog legs. I almost guarantee there's a place somewhere
Tim,
by you.
drive out to the country. When you hear
Yeah.
banjos, go a little bit further, and you'll find the best frog legs.
All right.
If you
okay.
see a sign that says "We sell catfish here," then you're getting close. You're getting
Right.
close.
I think the
You
most
keep
exotic thing I've ever eaten is gator tail, deep fried gator tail.
man.
Yeah,
Gator
that's
tails.
boss. Gator tail's awesome. If done right and deep fried, it's kind of like chicken nuggets, sort of. I don't know how else to explain it. Tastes like chicken.
Actually, it tastes more like pork, I think.
There you
Yeah.
go. He uses his vape as a slide on his guitar. Now that's innovative.
Yeah.
That's innovative. Way better than a beer bottle or just
Yeah.
your classic slide tool.
Mad Musician. Wednesday Night Live. What is our email address? Wednesday night.
It's in your banner. Quick, pop it up.
Yeah.
Bam!
We have
Banner.
the banner.
I might have erased it.
I
Why
think
How
you
would you
did.
do that?
I did. Timmy, fix it.
I will.
Mad Musician. We want a video
There
of
it
that.
is.
We want
Yes.
a video of that.
Send us a video to that email
We will
address.
play it on the show. We want to see a video of you using your mod as a slider on the guitar. Try to pick a song that is not popular.
I don't know that you get shushed for that kind of stuff because you're actually kind of doing a cover and it's free market usage. And most of the time, the algorithms don't pick up on things like that. As long as you don't play the whole song, I think you're all right. It's only when you play like the actual track and stuff like that.
Yeah, we want to see that. So send us a video clip of you doing that. All right, let's get into Mr. Tom. Everybody forgive Tom. This is his first time trying this, so don't give him any shit.
No, he's done juice reviews before.
Yeah.
Did he?
That's
Did he?
why I have a banner, fucker.
All right. Oh, do I have a banner for you? I
Says
just
right
made
there.
that.
Screen.
Tom's
I
juice
just made-
review.
Juice review.
I just made that.
Sure. All right, hang on. Let me catch up
All
with
right.
chat. Yes, deer
All right.
jerky is awesome. Elk jerky, I
Yeah.
think, is better. Backstraps are fantastic. Take me off of full screen.
That
That is frightening as fuck. Thank you.
I'm gonna
Okay.
put you over there, and
I
I
don't
know
care.
I can do something here. There.
That's
doing
cool.
this to
Go
me?
with that. We're right there with you, Tom. Don't worry. We're supporting you. We're right here with you, buddy.
Okay.
Right there with
No.
you, Tom.
Don't freak out, dude. Don't freak out. Everyone's looking at you right now. It's all on you.
No.
Pressure.
Y'all gonna shut the fuck up so I can do this?
All
Good
right,
lord. All right. So I got this box on Monday. No, I'm not gonna show you the other side because that's my address, and I don't want you fuckers stalking me.
Oh man.
In it was all kinds of lovely wrapping. A nice note that I will not read. I know I'm rude like that.
Chicka chicka bow wow.
In this lovely package that had this.
Nice. Old glass
Yes.
bottles.
Yes. Luke,
I
pay
haven't
attention.
had
This
one of
was in the
those in a
box.
Nice.
A glass
haven't
stripper
had-
bottle. And it is, now I do have to open the note so I get it right. It's a butter pecan pie. And I got it sent to me by Mallory. It is 60/40 milligram. And it is fantastic. Right away, on the smell, I get the butter and the pecan pie. Inhale and exhale, it's the same throughout. It pairs well with hot cocoa, coffee, iced tea. And yeah, like I said, I got it Monday and I've just been plowing through it.
Wow.
And she told me if I wanted to, I could share it with you three. And no, I'm not gonna. It's mine. Get your own.
But Mallory's been home brewing for a while. I think she's
believe so.
like a hardcore DIYer.
Yes. And it took me a while to get used to the 60/40 because I'm used to 70/30 and 80/20 and all that. So the first few I was like, holy throat hit. I'm like, wait a minute. I talked to her about it and she's like, it's 60/40. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I read the note again.
How was it on
Morgan?
the coils?
So far so good. Morgan, you'd have to ask her. I mean, that was a fresh rewick on Monday. Ow, that's hot. Shut up, Paul. I have it
I'll
on my
find it.
Asgard Mini.
You got it, Timmy?
I'll find it.
All right.
With the Asmodus Kodama.
The Kudama.
Yes.
Kudama. Who's mama?
1.8. You done, John?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Dun, dun, dun.
And it's fantastic.
Nice.
I'm telling you, reach out, see what she says.
Reach out and touch someone. Did you find it, Timmy?
Yes, I did.
Are you done, Tom? Anything
Hold
else
up.
you want
Yes.
to talk about?
I'm good. I'm good.
You good? That's the juice review, the homebrew juice review by Tom.
Does it
Do you have any
inspire
home-
you to home brew now, Tom?
We are going to do a DIY. Paul made
Honestly,
a suggestion.
possibly.
We
Sorry?
will do a DUI. I said we will do a DUI show. I think at the
A
beginning of
DUI
next
or
year.
DIY?
DIY show.
Yes, we don't want to be drinking while
If you guys all want to get
talking
hammered
about
and
the
drive, then John's
Yeah.
going to have a show about that. If you
Yeah,
want to come watch
I-
a vaping show, we'll have a DIY show.
Yeah, we could
Yes.
do both at the same day.
Oh God, here we go. No,
No, I don't need a DUI on my record. I'm good.
Yeah, it's all right. It only stays there for 10 years.
I
Then
don't
it's
care.
gone.
So,
don't
Nick,
Hey, Nick. Hey, everybody in chat.
Nick, hey, yeah, not Santa. I am not Santa.
John
Let me
Fowler, everybody's been calling our mods lightsabers for years now. So
Yeah.
we're already attached to Star Wars.
I don't like this setup here. There we go.
Okay. I know, Mad Musician, if you're still in the chat, is there any particular place I need to pick the video up from? I'm like right at the beginning. It's a 5-minute video. We're not going to be able to get through all of it. Is there any
Where's the
particular
spot?
is there any particular time mark I should hit that kind of highlights the whole slide thing?
Yeah, give us the slide. Give us the, what is that called? The I forget what it's called on the
I mean, I can
video.
look real quick.
The time stamp.
Timestamp.
The time stamp.
There you go.
And he did give us permission to play his song.
Yeah. May the vape be with you.
I'm just looking for where he's using
Mallory?
the slide.
Thank you for sending me this liquid. It is fantastic.
Yeah, Mallory. And if we when we do the show, if you would like to come on, if you're capable of doing it, we would love to hear from you. I am thinking about having Daniel on as well when we do the DIY show. And we have the master right there below me. Right there below me, the master mixer.
That guy?
Yeah, that guy right there below me. He will
He's
critique.
blowing you?
He will critique your I don't know what you want to call it.
I'm actually working on a new one now. That's
How many
Quite
flavors in
interesting.
that one?
8.
I'm looking.
And I will shut up during that show and let Paul take over the whole thing.
I might invite a few of my old friends onto that show.
Yes. yeah,
Some of the
yeah,
old crew from the DIY community.
That would be awesome.
Which Daniel were you talking about?
Our Daniel, Mr. Squonker.
Yeah, the
Right.
one that's always late to the show.
That's fine. But yeah, this one's. Everyone said to me this isn't going to work, and it's a watermelon, pear, and cactus. It's quite interesting.
Ooh.
I would
Yeah.
try that. I think that'd be more like a
it-
summertime vape, though.
Now, are you talking the cactus fruit flavor?
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I would dig that totally. I eat a lot of cactus fruit.
All right,
Since
I'm
I
a dumb
have-
redneck. So, what the hell's the difference between a cactus and a cactus fruit?
Cactus fruit is that little ball that you see that grows off of this. I guess you
I've
could
never
call
seen a
it-
cactus.
What?
I've never seen a cactus.
You've never seen a cactus? You don't ever go to the
Not in
grocery
person.
store and go to the floral department?
But you've
They
been
got
to
they got little mini
Texas.
cactuses over there.
You've been to
Yeah,
Texas.
I
You
lived in
telling me
Texas.
You've
in the
never
north-
even
Well, how
in
the
the
fuck?
northeast
How
part.
how
There
the
were
fuck
trees,
did
there
you
was
not
no
see a
cactus.
cactus?
There were just trees, no cactus.
Okay.
I had to go to the
What?
Gulf Coast to see a damn palm tree. My first thought was, where the fuck you gonna put a tree stand in that little bastard?
Wow.
I'm a redneck.
Okay.
All right, let's talk
So-
Christmas gifts.
All right. Did you find his video?
Yeah, it's just right in the very beginning. It's not
Oh,
a
yeah.
long section. It's just real quick. So hold on.
Stream it. Stream it for our
All right,
friend.
hold
We have his
on.
permission.
I gotta do this part. Hold on. All right.
Luke, I'm allergic to Minnesota.
All right, there he is on the left. And the only reason you know it's him is because you'll see it tips you off.
It tips you off.
There it is, right there. That's your slide on. And then it's just a collab. He's playing kind of the rhythm, the other guy's playing lead. The guy you can't see. The guy that's all eerie in the background there on the right.
Tim, name that song.
It kind of has a bit of a kind of a Chris Cornell Soundgarden feel to it, and then it also has a bit of like an alter bridge kind of vibe going on there, a real slow kind of alter bridge thing. But beyond that, I think it's a collab. I think it's an original. I think they were just kind of splanking around. An idea, a riff, a melody. There you go.
It's cool.
Hope your career takes off, man.
I thought for a second there it sounded like Guns N' Roses.
Well, I don't know. It wasn't anywhere close to Patience, but if you're into that song, I guess.
Oh God, what's the name of that song?
Patience?
It might be Patience. It sounded like that to me for a second there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
See, what was it there? Let us know what song that was. But we're gonna get into
I
the.
think it was an original.
Was it original? Is it
I think it
original?
was original. I think Mad Musician had a riff, and he was just playing a rhythm, and the other guy said, "Let me riff on top of it."
It's called that
so
right
it
there.
is.
Epiphany.
Yeah. So it's not a cover. It's an
in the
original.
stores. It's in stores. It's in stores,
Right.
baby.
There
Go
you
buy it.
Cool.
Let's start with Paul. Paul, a $20 vape gift idea for the stocking.
Ooh.
Ooh, coils.
No. I'm still going to say this time and time again after all these years it's been out. The Wasp Nano. Sorry. Still one of the best single coil bangers for under $20.
Can you find it though? I heard it's really hard to find.
Oh, no. They've released the V2 now. And that one I'm even more interested in because it's got a secondary chamber. So it doesn't have the same old spitback problems.
Okay.
That's the one I'm interested in.
How is that possible? Because that thing is like that big. It's tiny.
Yeah,
What's
I know,
what?
but
22 millimeter?
Yeah.
Oh, let me
You
take
can
your.
still
Let me
get
get your face. Let me get your face back in the picture. There it is. It is available at Element Vape for $16.99.
Yeah.
I think
And
those were.
it's a fantastic little single coil banger.
It is a flavor banger for sure for $20, under $20, and you can't beat that.
You can squonk
And-
with it.
Yeah, and 510 drip tips will fit. You got to find little ones like little MTL
Right.
drip tips, but they
Yeah.
work perfectly in this thing.
Is the drip tip molded into the cap there, or is it?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it's all one piece.
But you can still get another drip tip
Yeah.
into the top of it.
what they did.
Oh,
is
okay, I
they
got
made
you.
they made the opening big enough so you could fit another cap in there.
Nice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I hear lots of good things about the Wasp Nano as far as a single
You
coil
should get
RDA
one.
goes.
I
I can't. You know what? I can't. It's very difficult for me. Well, I'd have to get it somewhere else because very few vape companies online are shipping to Georgia for whatever reason. If you look at the map now with like the Courier X stuff, they go everywhere but like a few states, and Georgia's one of them.
That's
And I don't get it. I don't know if that's a interstate thing, but we're not on a vape ban. We don't have anything preventing us from being able to get stuff. So I
I'm
don't
sure
know why.
You know a guy.
I'm sure I know a guy or two. Sure. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I got my connections. I'm just saying, on the average, when I need stuff like, replacement coils or things like that, it's very difficult for me to get things of that nature right now for what it's worth.
so many colors now too.
I was trying to find a
I-
picture of the deck. There
I
it
have
is.
the. Is there a better picture of the deck?
They
That's the
usually
best
have one
one
with
that
it turned sideways.
Right, they don't. I looked
Uh,
through them all.
Second picture in, it looked like.
Oh, there's.
There we go. Right there.
No.
That one.
There it is.
Yeah, so it's just a dual clamp, and then you got to have opposing leads.
Yep.
No big deal.
Easy peasy.
How big
Lemon
of a
squeezy.
how big of a diameter can you get in that sucker before it
3?
gets a little too 3? You can get a 3 in there
3
before
is
it gets too
pushing it.
crowded.
3.5.
Yeah.
3.5.
3.5.
2.5. They fit beautifully. Little
Yeah.
2.5 mil aliens. Oh wow.
Get it just above the airflow,
What's up,
so the air's
Rick?
coming in the bottom. Oh,
Rick, not Morty.
and yeah, Mallory, it's a lot like the Requiem deck.
Yeah, there's a lot of decks that are out there that are similar to this deck right here.
But that one is tried and true, been around forever.
Right.
Pretty much everybody has one, at least.
Yeah, when they first came out, I got mine for $9.99.
That's it.
$10.
They used to be they used to be nothing. I remember that.
But you know what?
$10.
That's I mean, it's I would
Even
say
at
that's a
17
pretty
bucks, that's not bad.
that's a pretty amazing accomplishment when you consider all the stuff that's out there and people that sell stuff that's really expensive. You know, I mean, I think Grimm talks about vape hands budget and stuff like that.
Yeah, vape budget hands.
Yeah, vape budget hands. You got people on either side of the coin, and you think that's a pretty amazing accomplishment to put out such a nice device for such a cheap price, and everybody talks really highly of its performance and how well it performs as an Addy.
Yeah, I don't think I remember not one single reviewer actually giving it crap.
No.
Oh, there was one.
There was one guy.
Yeah, one
Probably
or two.
can
but-
guess who that is.
Yeah.
Oh wait, could it be the guy I'm thinking?
Yeah,
Probably.
I think it starts with a J, ends with a H.
yeah.
Lives in New Jersey. Likes to
Oh
break shit.
yeah, $10. He's not buying that.
I might actually get one just to get one, just so
Yeah.
I can get. I might get one of those. Might get the blue one. I like the blue one. Be kind of cool to go with one of my bluer angled devices. Yep. The one I really want. Well, I won't talk about it. That's more expensive, so we'll talk about it later.
There you go.
Yeah, it's coming up. It's coming up. All right, Tommy boy, do you have a $20 gift?
Well, like Paul, I would say the Wasp Nano, or if it's somebody that's just starting smoking, Caliburn.
Caliber.
Tom stole my answer.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I forgive you.
You can just say vape kit because that's what I'm saying, but you can steal it because you're next.
And
Oh, me?
Yeah, I mean it's no fuss, no muss. Here you go.
The Caliburn. Let's see what the Caliburn.
I think
is.
it's a little over 20, but it's close.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah,
We'll
unless
see.
you go to Health Cabin, then you might be able to get it cheaper.
But yeah, it all depends on where you look at it.
Yeah.
And again, who you know.
Oh, Tommy, you
What?
just went over by $1.99.
So I'm confused though, right? Okay, so there's the UL Caliburn. Now that's not the newest one.
No.
That's
That's the one before it.
Yeah,
That's
the very first one.
that's the Caliburn 2, or actually the second version that came out.
No,
Yeah,
this is the
Or-
this is the original.
That's the
Oh,
OG.
that's the OG.
That's the
Okay.
OG
That's
one.
the OG.
All right. So
That's
then
the
you had the G. The G was the second one, and then you had the A2, and now you got the G2.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
there's-
they got the Caliburn Pro, the A2, the G.
Yeah.
Show the G2. That's the latest one.
A2, you mean? Oh,
No,
G2.
G2.
I see it.
That's
oh,
the most.
you're way over.
Yeah, that's the
that's
most-
the G.
Yeah, the G was like the second iteration that came out. And then they had the A2, and now they've come out with the G2, which
Yes,
I
I
don't
do
understand
remember
why
those.
they're releasing them all like bang, 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 bang. I mean, it just seemed like the A2 just hit the market.
Thank you,
Yep.
Liana.
Is it something to do with their coils? Because they're all going to be. That's the thing I don't like when they do that with pod systems and they keep punching out new ones because I'm assuming none of them fit each other. So
Well,
it's not-
okay, so I'll tell you what the difference is then, because I already know it now just without even owning them or even having one. Is the A2 came back, and the A2 was not replaceable coils. It went back to the replaceable whole
Okay.
pod, and then the G2 comes back, and now it's replaceable coils, and you keep the pod. Now, I'll be honest. I've had the first. I had the first two. If you want to consider having the cocoa and then
I like that
going,
green.
yeah, that's a nice like olive green. I wasn't all that impressed with the G coils.
No.
They weren't that great. They weren't. They didn't have the same durability as the original Caliburn.
Yeah,
So I had the original cocoa.
Yeah, the original coils, they would let. I swear you get a month out of them things.
Yep. Very true.
Oh, depending on what we put through them as well. That was
Well,
the
yeah.
other issue with them.
Yeah, I just remember the original one with just the replaceable pods. Those seemed to last much longer, and then I got the G, and the replaceable coils seemed to burn out way quicker. And I don't think that it was a differential in exactly what I was running through it, unless you're talking about, an e-liquid that had, it was more of a desserty flavor. I'm mostly a fruit flavored vapor, so.
Well, then you would
Anyhow,
not like
it
this,
is.
Tim, because it is very desserty.
Well, and desserts for me are sparse now. I like one every now and again. Every now and
You
again.
guys think that that's kind of taken the spot of the Smock Nova kit? Because that was the hot selling item, and then Caliburn kind of took over that. You think they've taken over that?
I think
small-
Caliburn got a lot of hype.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Paul.
I think, well, UL marketed it really, really well when they came out with the original one. And then the G, yes, that was good. But now they've gone bang, bang, bang. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll just stick with this one.
I will say UL's marketing has always been awesome.
Yeah. 100%.
Timmy, what is on your list?
It's hard now because Tom said the Caliburn. I was going to use the Caliburn only because
Cocoa.
well, right. I mean, all right. So we can talk about the cocoa, right? So you had the Prime, right? That was the one that came out around the time the G came out. No. Did we have the cocoa? We didn't have a cocoa G. We had the Prime, which had kind of like the flashy little panels on it and all that stuff. And then they came out with the A2 cocoa. And I'm thinking for $20 or close to $20, something like that, because if you have the opportunity to give vaping to somebody that's in your life that's special to you, that you want to try to help them quit, I think that's a great gift. The Nano is a great gift too, but obviously that's something for the more advanced vapor, somebody who's a little bit more inclined. So I'm thinking for a $20 gift, if there's something that you can offer without it being sort of like, I don't know, it's like if you know somebody in your life that's overweight and you buy them a Peloton and you don't tell them that you're giving them a Peloton bike, it might come off as being a bit of a dick move. You're like, what are you trying to say?
As a fat guy, that would be a dick move.
Yeah, like, what are you trying to say?
A gift certificate to Weight Watchers.
Yeah, when's the last time you ever saw me ride a bike in place, for that matter? But no, I'm just thinking, something like that. Like if you know somebody who you've been kind of like working with to try to convince them to switch off of cigarettes, like your mom or your grandma or your granddad or your dad or a cousin or somebody like that who might be open to the idea, and they know that you're not pulling a punch, or you want that tearjerker moment so you can, capture some video.
Yeah.
You care about their life. I'm just saying, maybe a disposable. Disposables are right around $20. It's something that you can get, and it's a no harm, no foul thing, because you're not giving them anything that you intended for them to use over a long period of time. They can try the disposable. If they don't like it, that's named a disposable for a reason.
Right. Yeah, that's what I think that $20 gift range is for the vapor. I think that you're right, though, Tim. I think it's something where it's somebody in your life that you want to get to start that transition. And for $20, it's I think it's you're not killing yourself. Even $25. I mean, $25 to get started. I think to have someone start, and what falls into that category are the closed systems, the pod systems, the smaller devices. But then again, like, if you're already a vapor and you're going to transition someone, help them out too. Don't forget that part. Help them out. So, they're not going to understand filling it. They're not going to understand how the coils work. So make sure that, you don't just hand them something that may end up in the trash can. So hopefully you can help them with that transition.
Right,
I
'cause
actually
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Tim.
I was gonna say if I gave somebody a G2 Caliburn pod and I turn around and watch them throw it in the trash because they don't like it, I'd be the fastest dumpster diver you ever seen in your entire life.
I actually Googled $20 vape gifts, and this came up, and I remember this device because it
The
came out the
Orion?
same. It came out. No, it's from Smock, the Trinity Alpha.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
It looks
that
just
was,
like. Yeah,
That was the take on the Lost Vape.
yeah. It was a complete clone of the Lost Vape device. But I figured, hey, it's $17.91, so I figured,
Wow.
hey, that's a pretty good damn deal. I don't know if it's still available. I think it is. Let's click on it. Get this deal. Let's see what happens.
It depends on that thing. There you go.
It's in there.
1990 from
1990.
That's not a bad deal. It's a nice little small device, very easy to use, very easy to fill. It's top filled, nothing complicated, no wattage. Yeah, no wattage adjustment. It's got some style, but for that price, I don't. That's the thing too. Do you guys think? Did it matter to you guys when you guys first started what your device looked like? Did it matter to you at all when you guys first started?
When I first started, I don't think there was too many weren't too many variable options to pick from. I mean, this is what I do remember. I remember when I first started, most people were going for the Sigalike variations, right, with the little cardos that you screwed on in the battery kind of situation. But not long after that, you would see the little vape boutique places popping up. And the only reason that I never really walked into this because I would look in the window and everything had like sequins on it or what are they? Rhinestones. You know what I mean? They were taking like ego pens and blinging them out, and then I think they were trying to cater to the female market. Because in all honesty, I do specifically remember guys being a little reluctant to go into a bar with a Sigalike or something like that because they were strange and odd, and they had the light up tip, that was either red or blue or something like that, and I think. With that sort of, the ego testosterone kind of thing, it's like you don't want your buddies kind of ribbing you because you're sitting there in the bar and you got this fancy little electronic device and stuff like that. So I do think it was, as much as I want to say it, I feel like vaping for a good portion of the early thing was kind of marketed towards the female side, the female market, and not so much males.
But I think like all of us here, I think we all got hooked on the skins. Did we not? Did any of you guys buy skins for your fucking mod? You didn't do it, Paul?
No, never.
Oh, I bought one for the Wismec RX 200 that made it look like wood. It was a great skin.
I just went and bought a scabwood mod by that stage, and I went, nah, bugger that. That's a skin. I want the real thing. Forget it.
Right. Did you care, Tom and Paul, what your mod looked like when you first started, or
when I first started, my color choices were black, stainless, and maybe blue.
Yeah.
Well, the blue was black.
Yeah, the blue was black. But I figured this is a nice little device. Like I said, there's no weight, there's no wattage adjustment. It's straight push button.
What's the second button for at the bottom there?
There is a wattage.
I think you can adjust the wattage a little bit.
Right. Yeah, you have 3 levels. I think there's a power, medium, and low, depending on the coil. But I think it automatically read the coil, I think. If I remember correctly, I think it automatically, and if you needed a little bit harder, I guess you could bump it up some. But that was my $20 item.
That's a great item.
$20.
Because Daniel, we want to. Trying.
Look at the topic of the show.
We're trying to be historical. We don't want people to forget the past, Daniel.
Yeah,
showed up
You know,
late.
don't be so
Look tough.
dismissive of us.
that's
You
next
grumpy
week's show.
you grumpy little squonker.
Yeah, you squonking bitch. All right.
Something.
I think we all got them. All right, Tim, you're up. $50. What are you buying
Ooh.
For 50?
for
Whew.
50?
For 50, there's so much you can do with $50. There's a
Yep.
lot you can do because you can go down the mod route, you can go down the Addy route for
Right.
$50.
All right,
Honestly,
should I make it like
no,
let's
50's
say
fine.
them-
50,
no
50's
50, but let's say 50 for the let's say the average vapor. Is that fair? Let's not say you're not going to get a $50 well, maybe you could now with pod systems. Yeah.
Well,
Never
you know what?
mind. Go
I
ahead.
find that people, unless you're looking for a new device, a new mod or something like that, because a lot of people are usually buying like the Aegis or something like that. They're trying to get a decent mod. I would say when you start talking to people and they're willing to go to the $50 price tag, I would say they're probably beyond a sub-ohm tank and a standard kind of mod. I would say I would probably buy somebody what I think is one of my favorite devices at around $50. I would buy somebody the Asgard Mini RDA. Hands down, I would buy that for somebody because with the way the vape industry is now and how things are going and how kind of we're closed boxed in, I do think people need to be a little bit more open-minded to thinking about installing their own coils and being a little bit more and saving money that way too, in the sense that you can make a set of coils go a lot further in a rebuildable Addy than you can relying on just buying packs of 5 packs of coils all day long.
Right.
So, but if I was gonna
You
give
would be
somebody
buying for the advanced vapor.
yeah, I would say that there's two. There's two things I would give for $50 would be the Asgard Mini, and I think it's probably still sub 50, and you can look it up, and I still will endorse it to this day. Is a really and this goes to conversations I have with people because there's people that like to vape on both sides of the spectrum. There are people that like an MTL or restrictive vape, and then there's people that like more of a DTL vape. Definitely, hands down, around $50, I would gift the Vapor SO PX Swag PX80 or PX80 Swag. I think that's a fantastic little device. Single 18650. It's compact. It's small. It's real stylish looking. It comes with a proprietary sort of magnetic tank system, but the pods are great. What I love about them the most, I don't have it in front of me, but it's also a tank where you can replace the coil without having to drain the tank or wait till the tank's empty. So if you start to get it kind of a flaky coil, you just press down on the drip tip and turn it till it locks, and it kind of ejects the coil out of the bottom, but it also seals off the air, the juice flow on the tank. So you can pull the coil out. You can have a tank completely full of juice, replace your coil, relock it the other direction, throw it back in the magnetic snap, and you're on your way. It's kind of a weird twist on a portable side by side. I don't know how to explain it that way, but that's what it feels like. Because the battery and the tank, they sit roughly about the same height, and it's kind of square. So PX80 Swag for like a kit, and then the Asgard Mini for an RDA.
Nice, nice. Tommy boy.
I actually
you
looked
buying?
this up because I wanted to make sure I had the range right. I would go with the Geek Vape Aegis Solo 100-watt starter kit.
You goddamn son of a bitch, Tom.
Because it's the Aegis, so you can beat the crap out of the thing. It'll look at you and go, really? That's all you got?
I hate you, Tom. No, I gotta
Yeah,
look
well,
again. I
get
gotta
over it,
look
sir.
again.
Yeah, I'd go with the kit, though. That way you get the tank with it.
I didn't
Because
see the kit.
At the
for under
$50 mark, look on Element Vape, John.
Yeah.
It comes in at
okay.
$47.99.
Ooh, all right. Okay.
You get everything you need, and at the $50 mark, you're just transitioning out of the pods and all that other stuff. So Hold on, you'll see the kit.
Yeah, I don't see the kit, but yeah,
It's there.
I believe you. It's there.
Oh.
But yeah, you're right. That's a great mod for someone that's just getting started. You don't know if
Yep.
they're gonna beat it or abuse it or how they're gonna work with
Yep.
it.
And this will take everything you throw at it and be like, you hit like a bitch.
Yeah, can you even throw it in a pool?
Mhm.
Make sure the tank's off though.
Don't
What are
vape
your
underwater.
names?
You might have a bad situation.
Don't vape underwater. All right, Paul, it's on you, buddy. What are you buying me for $50?
A hooker.
Simple. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
For
No.
1
No, very simple mod, built-in battery, Inican Chroma Z. Sorry.
Yep.
I love
I
these
hate-
little suckers. I love
I
these
hate
little
you.
suckers.
I can't use
I
that one now.
love these suckers. They're brilliant. Or is the Coolfire Z80 still in that price range?
Yeah.
Because they'd be the two for under $50. But yeah, the Chroma Z.
Yes, the Z80 with the Zenith
Yeah.
2 is
The Z-
$48.99 on Element.
I hate you, Paul. That was my pick. Now I gotta go look.
Oh, but the other one for a tank, right? A tank only.
Yeah.
That's why Nautilus GT. Sorry, this got my attention as soon as it came out because of the collaboration that they did. And this to me is the evolution of where Aspire came from and where they're at now. This, still to this day, I love this tank. I've got a few of them now. Actually, quite a few of them.
I hate you. Now I gotta go
Well,
digging.
Too bad.
Gotta go digging. I got to go digging now. Everything else that I like that's available is just over the price mark.
That's all right.
Well, I'm gonna have to go with just to give Daniel a little props, and it's about $9 more. It's $10 more. I like what Tom has it as well. The Vandy Vape Pulse V2, the 95-watt one. I think you might be able to find it cheaper. I don't know. I'm looking at Element Vape's page, and they've got it at let me see here, $59.99. But a solid device.
Yeah.
Solid device. Someone that maybe wants to get into squonking, and you can you're going to have to help them with this device. Actually, it's pretty simple, I think. I mean, but filling it could be a bitch. See, that's the thing I don't want to give some, but I guess we're talking average, above average vapor. So I think you'd be all right at that. Maybe you could find it for 50, but I it's the only other device because Tom stole mine and then Paul stole mine. So
Too bad.
yeah.
You'll be okay.
And I was trying to think of an RDA or a tank that runs right in that price range, but I haven't really bought anything to. It can go into rebuildables. I don't know. A lot of the stuff I have right now is Hell Vape, and I don't see anything I like that Hell Vape has out. I'd say spend the extra money and get yourself a no, I'm kidding.
What's that one?
It is the oh god damn it.
What? K-Fun?
Okay, fun. But
Here we go.
That's gonna go into the other. I don't know any I don't know. I haven't really looked into the rebuildables as far as tanks. I don't know. I really don't know any. Tim's probably better with the rebuildables. The one he picked was probably a better one. I don't know any of them. Any of the other newer
that's
ones
at the
that are out.
$50 mark, right?
Yeah, right at that $50 mark. So I wouldn't know of any. So that's my pick. Enjoy it. Here we go. Paul.
Vapor gets 100.
$100.
That's easy. Straight out of the box. Lost Vape Cyborg.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Straight out of the box. But don't worry about their coils. Just get the RBA head for it. The rebuildable head for this thing. Then it's a winner.
Because that's the kit, right? Well, why do
Correct.
you think that? Why do you think they had so much issues with those coils, and they had such great? It had no issues with the smaller device, the pod systems. Everybody was raving about those coils, and then they go and make these coils, and everyone
These
just
coils, these coils for some reason, I think it has something to do with the chamber, because this is just straight through.
because
And
people are
there-
saying
there's no
their juice doesn't taste right.
No,
It doesn't
no.
taste like it should. And I heard a bunch of people say that, but they got so much praise for their
I think there's too much airflow actually within the coil itself.
yeah.
The actual diameter, the inner diameter of the coil, I think there's way too much airflow. Yeah, that's the other problem. You can go either side with this, and then you get the little RBA for it, and throw in a baby alien, and off you go. Thanks for coming. And it works. It works well. But the airflow is still way too much on this tank. Way too much.
I like the idea. If you're at $100, you should jump on a kit. I think that you want to get somebody something, everything like you're doing right there. Just give them everything, the mod,
Yeah. Bang.
the tank. Timmy boy, what are you spending me? What are you buying me for $100, Tim?
For $100. I think if I had to go with the more advanced vapor, I think I'm going to go down the rebuildable route again. I'm thinking something even more versatile than just a RDA that you can either drip or squonk with. But I'm going to suggest, and some of their devices are I mean, they're sub 100, but close enough, right? So I'm talking 75 to $100. One of the larger Steam Crave tanks. Only reason I'm suggesting that is because you can go any route with that, right? It's an RDTA by definition, but you can make it an RDA, you can make it an RTA, and then you have all different kinds of different decks and things that you can throw in at it that give you a little bit more room to play, a bit more of a sandbox if you want to try different stuff and be a little bit more creative. Just because you can do so much with one singular tank, and they give off great flavor and they perform really, really, really well. I just like the modularity around them. So I would go that route. If I was going to go for just wanting to like give somebody something that's kind of nice and maybe a little bit more upscale without breaking the bank and getting into a DNA or something like that, I was thinking maybe like the oh crap, I lost the name of it. I've got one. Bogan had his hand in the pie on this one. The Dovpo Bogan thing, that mod, the 200-watt one, but not the DNA version.
The Odin.
The Odin, yeah, the Odin 200. I think there's a really well-made device. They feel really good quality. I mean the colors are really good on them, and they just perform well as a mod overall. And like I said, I mean it's a nice addition to anybody's setups.
Yeah, nice.
Fits all kinds of RDAs, RTAs. Has a nice big fat landing deck for it. So I would probably go that route. For
Nice.
around 100.
Tom, if you say what I got picked, I will kick your ass.
I doubt it. The Minikin too.
I know. I didn't pick that.
And like Tim said earlier, an Asgard Mini. Because at that $100 mark, you're advanced enough that you can handle rebuilding. You should know enough. I'm not gonna have to hold your hand, walk you through everything. And the Minikin 2 has lasted a long damn time, and it works.
Did we start it with you, Paul, right? I think
yes,
you did.
It's your turn, John.
I am going to go with again, I'm not thinking of the advanced vapor. I want to get a kit, and I think from what I've been hearing, I don't own one yet. I don't know if they're even out yet, but I want to go with the Chroma 217Z Force kit.
They're out.
I mean, yeah. I from what I've been seeing as far as reviews that have been out already, it looks like it's a good setup. I like there's some ingenuity in the coils that kit comes with. I don't know how that all works. I kind of listened to Phil the other day, kind of describe how the two coils work within the with the cotton and how it draws, how one kind of primes the cotton itself. Do you understand how it all works, Paul? By any chance, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know how it works. One preheats the liquid, and the other one actually it's two separate sections to the actual tank itself. But yeah,
Yeah.
the
Let me see if I
Chroma
think-
217, very, very interesting.
Yeah, I was trying to find the picture. They had some pictures of the coils, what they looked like, and I think that might have been on their actual page. I thought I was on their page. I don't know what it is. Yeah, but
and
the way
there's the
that
black and gold version too.
yeah, there's I like the way it looks. I like the small form factor. I've always had really good luck with Innikin coils with some of the Innikin tanks that I've owned over the years. They always seem to last a little bit longer than most of them. And some of the juices that I used to vape back then were real sweet and would ruin a lot of my coils. But I don't have a picture of the coil. But it's I don't know. Well, it's you got the outer coil mesh, which is mesh, right? It's an outer mesh coil. The cotton in the middle, and then another coil in the middle of the cotton. So one of the coils actually you're vaping with, and then the other one is actually getting the cotton saturated, heated to saturate liquid.
Yeah.
So a pretty cool idea. And I think this is I think this is a 21700, right? Or
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Right.
There you go, Ricky, right there.
You'll have battery life for days.
There you go.
You're buying for me, man.
Yeah. No, but he's got a fair point, though. I mean,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I think he's coming from the position that it's like, you know, if you're buying it for somebody who's already someone who's been vaping for a while and kind of knows a little bit about what's out there, and then you give it to them, and then they open it up, and then they kind of gripe a little bit, like, why wasn't it a 21700? You know, I got a whole slew of those batteries. I threw all my 18 650s away. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Now I got to go buy a damn battery.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying there.
I would look at that person and be like, well, fine. It's mine then.
Be like, it's the last time I ever buy you anything for Christmas. Give it to me. I'll use
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're kind of in a bind because a lot of times you're purchasing it online, so you do have a receipt, but for them to return something online is a lot more difficult than
And
just walking into a store.
if it's somebody you know real well,
Yeah,
you know, like
Dude.
I could probably buy something for you three that would be pretty close, if not exactly what you would like. Or at least
I think
you know,
a lot of
be
people
close
would
enough.
like that. You know,
That's me at the moment. Yeah.
That's the perfect thing too. I mean, you know, a great stocking stuffer is coils, you know,
And
you're
$100
looking
worth of them will fill a stocking.
Yeah, you fill a stocking, or even at the
Unless it's Phil's big stocking, then well,
I think they run under 20, right? Like
coils
a pack of
coils.
four.
They're around anywhere from like $11.99 to $15.99, depending on which ones you're buying. So,
yeah, you could buy a shit ton of coils for somebody if that's what they need. Why not? You know, instead of purchasing another mod, another tank that they have to buy coils for, or a mod like Tim's saying that you don't have batteries for anymore.
right.
Yeah, stocking stuffers, $100 worth of coils. I could see him dumping coils out of the stocking.
I mean, but if you think about it, it's a brilliant gift because I mean, it's something that you burn through quite often, so you always need them, and it's kind of reassuring to know you got a bunch extra sitting on the shelf and you're good for a while.
Yeah.
Nautilus coils are $12.99 on Element.
Yeah.
And that's a 5-pack.
Oh, good. See, what was that whole fucking shenanigans of taking one coil out?
I
That
have
pissed
no
me off.
idea.
When they went from 5 to 4, I was like, why? Who sat in the corporate office and said during the meeting, let's just put 4 in there. Let's really screw them over.
Right.
And I get, I mean, I don't know what it costs. I mean, I can assume they're probably, I don't know. How much you think it costs to make a coil in China, dude? Fucking
Probably
For them,
5
it's
cents.
probably like 15 to 20 cents, and then by the time they package it and ship it over to America, and you add all the markups to it for shipping and everything else.
hey, Becky.
Hey, Becky.
So maximum, it's got to be what, 95 cents maybe after
Yeah.
packaging.
And they're mass producing them. And the way
Yeah.
China works is they won't, their factories won't roll until they have like volume type orders to
Right.
produce, because they buy the materials they need in bulk to save money on the production line. And it's all about everybody working there, right? So as long as the factory is running, they're not going to do short runs. They're going to want minimal runs before they'll even touch it.
Yeah, probably close
No,
to that.
a lot less than that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got to be. You got to figure all in material wise, probably less than a nickel.
Oh,
I
Probably.
don't think it'd be that cheap.
Well,
No.
per coil.
I doubt it. It's sub $1.
Yeah. No,
For
I
sure.
mean like material wise, just the materials. That
Well, they
need
buy
for-
in bulk, so I mean, I
Right,
don't know.
that's
Unless
what
you're
I'm
going to start
saying.
parsing
Yeah.
it out, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what the value is there. I mean, they're paying tariffs to get stuff into that country
Yeah.
anyway. They need the
And they
materials.
piss
They
me
don't
off,
make it
though,
themselves. So.
Going from 5 to 4. I think a pack of coil should come in 6. Actually,
I just don't like the fact that they variate it way too much. I don't like the fact that some come in 4s, some come in 5s. I mean, why do we have to have the proverbial hot dog and bun thing at the grocery store dilemma? Do you know what I mean?
I was told,
Yes,
with the,
I do know
the
what you
mouth
mean.
to lung, the mouth to lung coils, the reason they come in 4 is because you use less of them. That's what I was told. That you're likely not to
Whatever.
run through more MTL coils than you would, say, a TF14 fucking juice guzzling son of a bitch coil that's like this big around.
Right.
But an MTL coil should last you, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't know. What is an MTL coil?
not really, because a lot of the liquids I'm running through my MCL, but I'm now running the 0.7s from like the Nautilus from Aspire. They're my favorites. 0.4s for like salt nick and things like that, because it's a little bit different. But
Yeah. I mean, I've always had, honestly, I don't think I've ever bought a bad Aspire coil. Ever.
There was a very small window there for a while that some of them that went out, they were shitty. But no.
Yeah. No,
they've probably been at the pinnacle now for X amount of years in like coil development and manufacturing.
Yeah.
And they haven't changed.
They haven't changed, because I can name several companies where I've gotten screwed with coils right out. I mean, I've had coils where I put them in and 10 minutes later it was dead.
Yep. Not even 10 minutes with some liquids.
Well, Smock had the issue a couple years ago that they would just start leaking as soon as you filled them. As soon as you put the coil in and started filling it, it would just start pouring out the bottom of it. And I was like, "Oh, good job, Smock! What a way to go!" And it was all about an O-ring. Remember?
Yeah.
All about a stupid little O-ring that they should have put on there. Anything else? Any other gifts? Any other gift ideas?
Well, we're doing over 100. We're going 100 plus, yeah.
100 plus, baby.
All right.
Go crazy. Go crazy.
I have two in that
This is for
category.
me. This is
Tom's
for
gonna
me.
steal
I got
one
you
of mine.
nailed, John.
Here it comes. Here it comes. Tom's stealing one. Go, Tom. Go.
200 or 100 plus.
Yeah.
Mini
You
can.
can't get that no more.
Yeah, I just looked on Asmodus website. Yes, you can. It's $400 some dollars.
Yeah.
Oh, so they quit the whole 50% off, 60% off sales.
On that one, yes. On the Lustro, it's a little cheaper. And the
Okay.
second one, John, is the
Yeah.
Lost Vape Centaurus.
Lost Vape Centaurus. Good pick. Good pick.
They're both good picks, and you would love either one.
Oh no, yeah, you would. Yeah, if you got a Kadoma in the mail, you're in the mail, as your Christmas gift. Yeah,
Oh God, yes.
yeah, you should be. It's not every day you get a Stabwood mod in your Christmas box.
Yeah.
No. I only have
Oh.
one, so.
All right, hold on, real quick. I have that picture. I found it. Hold on. That's the coils. That's how those new coils work, right? Is that's it? That's just get
That's
that out
kind of
there.
interesting.
Duo prime wicking, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool idea. It's innovative. Anakin, I give it to them for.
So they do a coil around the outside and on the inside?
On the inside. So yeah, like Paul was saying, one actually heats the juice up, right, to vape, and the other one actually gets the cotton ready to saturate the vape. So
Oh, okay. That's cool. Good idea.
pretty cool little idea. So I'm assuming the outer coil, and they both run at different ohms, which is, I don't know how the hell they doing that.
I've got
Exactly,
no idea on
Paul.
that part.
That's how my head was spinning when he said that. I was like, well, wait a minute, how's that possible?
A yellow submarine.
Bill Tarling, good on you.
Vape delivery.
I see some big fucking names out there, though. I see Vicious Ann out there. I see
Steam Crave Titan. There you
Yeah.
go.
Don't you have one of
There's
those,
some
Tim?
You talking about the PWM, Mallory? Yeah.
Yeah. there's
Well,
some
they're
big
on the new Titan, right? So they're on their second iteration of that. I have the original. I have the original PWM kit with the 41 millimeter Aroma Steam Crave Titan on. We call it the water cooler. That's our nickname for it. Just because that's what it looks. It fucking looks
Isn't
like
that
a
the
water
one you
cooler.
have that has the backpack?
No, that's the Hadron. The Hadron, that was the original
that
Hadron.
Thing, that thing was weird.
Yeah, and so it had that kind of clip-on kind of squonk backpack that you could attach to it, which is actually kind of an innovative design. But the original Hadron itself had some issues, like it had some firing button issues, and it was a little bit of a flaky device. But they have a new one out. They have the Hadron 2, but I don't think that one comes with a backpack. Yeah, see, Daniel said brick.
brick.
There's a brick.
House.
You
Is that
knock
it for
someone
you?
out.
Andy?
That's all
Tom's
I got.
done. He named him. He's
I
done.
said my two.
Tom
All right,
said,
let's-
"See you next Christmas." There.
Well, yeah. Thank you. I'll be expecting that under my tree, Tom. All right, Tim.
No.
Tim, 100 bucks.
All right.
What the hell you buying me? 100 plus.
Well, Tom may disagree only because his experience wasn't as good as mine. But this device is something that we're seeing a little bit more and more of in the vape market, in the vape space now. But I would go, and it's just over 100. It's not that far of a stretch until you start buying into some of the little add-ons and things like that. But I definitely think like the Dovpo Abyss would be a great device for somebody at just over $100, only because you just get so many ways to turn on that, right? Because you get the Boros with it, so that you can use your stock pre-made coils for anywhere from your Nautilus coil to your Caliburn, your UL G coil to your GTX, your Vaporesso GTX coils, and then there's one other weird coil that I had never had any experience. Yes, I'd never actually used those coils. Yeah, something like that. So they give you 4 different burrows that you buy as a separate pack, not including the one that already comes with the kit, which I believe is for the Nautilus coils. I believe that's the one you get in the kit to begin with. And then on top of that, then you can get the Ether RBA that goes inside of it. So if you want to stray away from using the pre-made coils and you want to put your own coil and wick it yourself and take it a little bit further, you can go that route. And then you can buy the side-by-side kit set up so that you can actually go ahead and get rid of the proprietary tank that it comes with, which is replaceable, by the way. And and then you can go ahead and do this there. So Paul's basically showing
DNA one?
both setups right there. So to the left, he's got the kit set up The black one. He's got the kit set up so it's the black one. The other black one. Yeah, that black one.
That one.
So that one, that's the tank that comes with the Abyss, and then you can use the Boros in it or the Ether RBA in it, right? And that takes a 21700 or an 18650, depending on the plate you use on the top. And then the white one he had on the right, he kind of ran it as side by side, and then you can use your own RTA on that.
Yep.
And it's kind of like the new modular angle that I think a lot of developers, vape mod makers are going, just because it gives the users so many different types of experiences to use with that. And really, when you get started out of the box, they're just over about $100, and they vape really well, and they're really solid devices. So there's my $100+
Be careful though,
gift.
because as Tim said, I disagree because mine leaked.
Yeah,
Right out of the
mine
box.
did not. So I think Tom got
didn't know what he's
a
doing. I
yeah.
don't think
Tom
he
got
knew
a
what he's
dud.
doing.
Tom got a dud. I don't know, but yeah, that's my $100+ gift. And I don't think John has one, so I could theoretically buy it for him.
Okay.
Well,
Thank
that
you.
wouldn't surprise me.
Be in the box. Paul, what are you buying me for $100+? Do you know me well enough?
A hooker and blow.
Oh,
Yeah,
again.
that's a party.
Again.
That's a party, baby. That's a party.
Well, no.
That's awesome, Bill.
Therefore,
Hell
banning
yeah.
Christmas. Yeah, there you
I'm
go.
okay with that. My birthday's right around there anyway, so
Well, Leanna actually brought up one of them, and it'd be matchy, but one would be from Stratum, and that would be the Black Chrome edition of the one that she owns. And then to go on top of that would be the limited edition K-Fun in black to go matchy. It'd have to be matchy. But
if you're spending
there's $700 all up.
Shed time. God, I haven't heard that. I have not watched one of Todd's videos in so long, and I don't know why. But anytime I see Shed time, I know what he's talking about.
Well, yes and no.
Is it a different Shed time? Am I thinking something different?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something happening that I don't want to know about in the shed, Paul?
Smoking weed.
All right, for you guys, I'm gonna go all out for you guys. I'm gonna get you all
He's greedy, Morgan.
an SXK billet box for all of you for Christmas because I'm a nice guy.
Why do I feel like that's like like there's two Nest learning thermostats that you can buy, and there's like the really good ones that are like $250, $300, and then there's that one that's kind of weird and kind of modern that's like way cheaper for $99.
Well,
I
you're
thought
getting
billet
a
boxes were
DNA.
like $300.
Well,
I'm getting you a DNA
119
and
after
a fucking stab wood.
and after you put in the US dollars, figure what about 140, 145, right around there. So it's about 150. And again, you can buy the bridges, you can change it, you can make your own coils, you can buy coils for it. So, and I'm going to get you all orange. You're all going to get orange.
I have a question then. Because now my curiosity is piqued. I do like the orange and black kind of vibe going on. I do think that looks pretty schmeckshy. But to anybody who's watching the show or anybody, Paul, maybe you can comment. I don't think any of us here own both. Does the billet box vape better than, say, the Adavpo Abyss? Like if you put them head to head, which one? Because the billet box was the OG, right? That was the one that everybody had to have, and people were like into the $300, $400 bracket with this damn thing. So,
considering which bridges you can actually fit in the Abyss, that's the only difference. Okay,
Right.
That's really the only difference between the two. There's plenty of different bridges, but no, there's no real difference.
Okay.
See,
Alright, so-
look, now they're even doing a Delro version.
Yeah, they're doing
Unbelievable. I didn't think it would take that long, but they're running them now, you know, with a DNA 60 in them. That would I'd actually get one of them over.
I
over
like the
Billet box.
customization. I like the fact that you can get. I like mods that that a company puts out doors, puts out buttons. You know,
yeah.
Yeah,
does changes. You know, allows you to customize it to your liking. You know, or and with Billet, honestly, I don't own one, but I like the fact that there are independent contractors out there making doors that are amazing
Yeah.
doors. And,
Yeah.
and I like that. I like that when you got a product that you know that other people want to design shit for it. So, and
Yeah.
that's that. I mean, I find that really cool. Now it does get expensive when you start buying, you know, doors and buttons and bridges and tanks for this setup. So, and I wanted to put what's his name's up against this one, and that's Tony B's.
Pulse.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I'm waiting for that now, actually.
I forgot what is that called now, guys?
The
Pulse
Pulse
AIO.
Yeah.
AIO.
It's just the Pulse IO. Is that that's
AIO.
not what it is?
AIO. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see if I can find it. The Pulse AIO.
And it just started shipping for some places.
Someplace it's not officially out yet. Let's see here. I found it. Kit, and he's selling it as a kit, right? And I guess you can do a lot of the same things with his kit that you could do with the Billet, correct? I guess some of the
100%.
parts are actually are completely interchangeable from the
You can
Billet.
take the whole thing apart.
No, I mean you could actually use the bridge from the Billet in the Pulse
Yes.
AIO.
Yeah, but there's hundreds of different bridges now for the
Right.
for the Billet.
Yeah.
Hundreds, and then you've got
Unknown darkness.
I'll be honest, and Tony B is going to be coming on the page. I like the mod. I am just kind of tired of that. I'm not going to look for this on 3F Vape. That's for damn sure. I just don't like the color choices, the neons, and I don't like. I'll be honest. I don't like that plastic feel to it, look to it.
But that's
I'd love-
how he keeps costs down,
That's
right?
what keeps
Yeah.
the cost down. That's keeping the
That's-
cost down.
That's what he's all about, is keeping the cost as low as
No,
possible.
and I know they said that they used a different plastic now. This time it's a little stronger plastic than the original Pulse, which I have here. Which I mean, I used it the other day just kind of to have some fun. I haven't used it in a long time, so I was like, all right. So I, put a build in there. Actually, I found it for $52. Is that like pre-ordered?
no,
I paid
that'd be
more than
around.
that.
That'd be around the price, but anywhere between $50 and $70 a round.
E-Juice
But
Connect.
See,
I don't like this.
I'd get the black one, right?
Yeah.
And then I'd go out in the garage and I'd make myself some wooden panels for it.
Yeah, but that's the nicety about some of these AIO kind of modular devices is that really it's about the user experience and taking a mod and turning it into a creation, something that you like and you really want.
Right.
Whereas we're kind of stuck buying things that we only have maybe a few color options but it's the same thing. This you actually can literally make it your own. I know at Bogan with the Abyss. There's that South African guy that makes all kinds of drip tips and buttons and panels.
He's doing a lot of stuff for this
Bearded
too.
Viking.
That's it.
Yeah.
Bearded Viking. Yeah.
I think he's doing
That
some
frosted
stuff for
white
the,
looks pretty good.
for the Pulse
The
AI.
black The black looks cool too. I like the clear look, but yeah, and it is 21,700, correct?
Yeah.
It is
Yes.
21,700 mod. So
And it comes with a tank, an RBA,
Yeah, it comes the
Yeah.
kit. Yeah, the kit comes with the DIY RBA tank and pre-built coils or pre-built tank compatible with VBC coils, USB Type C charging.
Yep.
Not a bad.
The other one in this bracket, or as an AIO, or a billet style, is the one that Aspire released called the box. No one really got into it because it was part of the same collaboration with Sunbox. They did like a little mix, and you could change this out. You could use different because it was all interchangeable. And then this came with a 21700 update, like upgraded tube for it. But with this, I'm interested to try out his build deck for this one because it reminds me of a couple of different decks that are out there at the moment. But this one actually forces the liquid down from the top, from my memory, but I might be wrong. But I like the fact that this will actually fit a Boro tank as well, or Boro style tank. So
what I want to know
is
if the ether from the Abyss, that bridge, if that would work in there.
No, but I know that Bogan's actually working on a new bridge. I don't know when it's going to be released, but I know that he's working on a new bridge that will fit in billet style.
Well, if we ever get him on the show, we'll have to ask him.
Yeah.
If he can say.
If he can talk about it.
Right.
And Tony B will be on to talk about this Pulse device pretty soon.
I'm curious about this one because for $60, look, I would have said this was gonna sell for around 100.
Yeah.
You see, I pre-ordered mine for right about $100.
Well, you can get it right now. You can get it for $52.99 if you use this coupon code.
I pre-ordered mine like the day it was released on the only site that was available at the time.
Yeah,
I do like the filling system better than the billet box. I don't like that sliding thing.
I do.
I do. They said this is the only thing I saw from the reviews were that you can't fill it all the way up the way this new setup is. The way it has the tab, you can't actually fill the tank all the way up because of the way it's set up, the tab. But
that's a common scenario with some of those bridges that are coming out now.
Yeah. Well, we'll have Tony B on, and he'll share a little bit of information about that.
How's that working for you, Mallory?
Yeah. Like, fuck, I got to get a new mouse now. Oh shit, that's not my screen.
Well, I'll put that in the. I'll put that link in the chat if you guys want to go see it. I think that's the best deal I've seen for it. For 50, it's what did it come out to? $52.99 if you use the code. And I don't know where it sends you. Actually,
that's cheap. That is cheap.
It sends you to I never heard of them. Share. Oh, it sends you the source more. So
yeah, I don't know. There's so many sites out there. I always have to Google like, is XYZ legit, and you get a Reddit thread, and then you try to find out whether or not that you can actually trust them.
Anybody ever use these guys?
I've seen their deals, but I've never ordered from them. Nope. But you can bet they're from China.
Pre-order. So it says pre-order. So
mine came from a place called The Best Vape, and it's based in Florida.
Okay. So you're buying. It probably ends up being a vape shop, actually.
Probably, I believe so.
Yeah, it's probably a vape shop. And then my last item is if you have an advanced vapor and you want to spend the extra bucks and they're a mouth to lung guy, a K-Fun. That's it. I'm done.
A K-Fun.
K-Fun. Everybody likes to have one of those in their arsenal. I think so.
I don't have one of the newer ones. I have the older ones.
Yeah, the older ones. And that's it. Any other $100 ideas that you got? $100 plus ideas you throw out there?
No, but I do have one more idea.
Go.
It's a priceless idea.
Ooh.
And that is
no limit.
just get somebody off smoking and into vaping. That is the
Yes.
best Christmas gift you can give, is saving somebody's life by helping them transition off of stinkies into vaping. And that is a priceless gift because life is priceless. And I'm not trying to
Absolutely.
sound sappy. I'm just telling the truth.
You sappy. You're sappy.
Promised myself I wasn't going to cry.
Don't hold
Yeah.
back the
Like,
tears.
like,
All right.
like I told somebody earlier, life is the most precious thing on this planet.
There you go.
That's it.
So there you
Get
go. It's a-
somebody started. Get
just
somebody
get them
started.
vaping. Get them vaping.
Get 'em
It's
vaping,
priceless.
and stick through the transition. Help them
Yep.
out. Help them out, man. Let them understand that yes, sometimes that's the one thing. Oh, it leaked. It leaked. Nothing on earth is, well, there's probably a few things, but nothing is leak proof. I'm sorry.
whale's
Nothing is
blowhole.
leak proof. Yeah, probably no, not even that. You could slip up. You think it's a fart, and then oh, there it goes. Yeah, no. So you can't use
Damn
that
barking
one.
spiders again.
Yeah. You can't.
I'm hearing thunder, which is odd for December.
But yeah, I mean, just stick through it with them, help them through the hardships. Understanding, how to fill the product up, how to change the coil. Remember, vape shops are not allowed to do that anymore. So help
Right.
them out, man. Help them
Yep.
out. So
We're their best resource. The
Yeah,
private sector.
Yep.
and don't get frustrated. Yeah, I talked about I got frustrated with my son. It's just like because he wanted to move into the rebuildables, and I got him an AIO, and I had the rebuildable deck on there for him. So I made his cotton. I sat him down. I showed him how to rewick it. Gave him a whole packet of cotton. But every week he showed up at my house. Hey, we rewick this, Dad. Rewick this, Dad. But I did it, and the same thing for you guys. If you get someone. Unfortunately, don't get anybody into rebuildables right off the start, but just help them understand how to change the coil, how to prime it to make sure that it gets saturated well and all that stuff, so they don't have any of the bullshit that we all went through in the beginning. Learning
Yeah.
that transition, because when we all remember when we first started vaping, it was just the little tiny things just drew us back. Was trying to draw us back to smoking, and it, the leaking, the oh god, the shitty juice. Remember that? Just because we didn't have a lot of great juices to choose from that were out there.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, maybe this tasted like strawberry at one time, but it didn't taste like strawberry. So yeah, just stick with it, help them out, and help them through the transition. And another thing, one more thing, and this is kind of a thing: teach them how to buy juice. That's the big thing. Teach them to buy juice. So teach them, to learn their profile, their flavor profile. Teach them to what milligrams to buy. Like Tom brought up, a lot of people. One of the hardest things I had to deal with, and I don't know if you guys did back then, but the different 70-30, 60-40, 80-20. I didn't get all that. And I forget what tank I was filling up, and I forgot what I had. I had some 70-30, and I went to hit that damn thing, and it was just popping, shooting fucking balls of heat into my mouth. And I was so upset and frustrated. I was going to quit. But yeah, teach them the difference. And I know it's not as bad as it was when we did it, right? Because I think everybody's kind of sticking into that same formula nowadays. So it's kind of hard to find thinner juice out there that you might accidentally put in an RDA and have a firework show in your mouth. But yeah, just help them out. Teach them to look for juice, find deals. Hey, man. And then eventually, if you can build coils, teach them to do that. All right, guys. Timmy's got news. You got news?
I do.
All right. Let me play your bumper. Where is Tim's bumper?
He still hasn't updated my bumper. We're gonna have to talk
No,
about
I'm
that
working
next
on
week.
it. I'm working on it.
He
I'm
said
working
that
on it.
14 times ago. Go ahead.
I'm working on it.
Don't worry. Sorry, I was doing my little Lars Ulrich in the back there. All right, Tappertons. All right, we're all ready for some news. That's darn Skippy right. Okay, so the usual fare. I think we got to talk about the biggest elephant in the room. The one that I think everybody kind of already knows about, but probably expected the first news story of the evening to be discussed, and it was the kind of the looming cloud, right? It was the latest thing that was coming down from our good friends out over there in the federal government, because they just give so many two shits about us all the time. The vape tax, right? Everybody knows about the vape tax. That was the one thing that we were big on the advocacy position about. We got to pick our battles at this point and fight them the best that we can. And they tried to sneak that one in on us. And that's usually how they play the game, right? So a little bit of the history on it for those who may not know, but I'm pretty sure of the 12 viewers that are on right now, everybody knows about the vape tax. So originally it came out, it was a proposal. It wasn't even a standalone bill at that point in time. It was merely a proposal about a vape tax that they wanted to employ across the board, right? So it was going to not only impact vape stuff, but it was going to impact smokeless tobacco. It was going to impact cigarettes. It was going to impact cigars, cigarillos, the whole kit and caboodle. They were going to go ahead and have a vape tax that applied across the board. The real unfortunate side of it is that the vape tax was going to heavily tax nicotine. It really wasn't about e-liquid as much as it was more about the nicotine element of it, and they were going to tax it so much so that if I'm not mistaken, on the old chart, if you looked at it, I think if you bought what was it, 1,000 milligrams at 100 milligram per milliliter or something like that, it was going to be some ungodly amount of money, like somewhere in the neighborhoods of like what? Does anybody remember the number now? It was just some unusually high,
like $50,000.
Yeah, something insane, right? I mean, it was going to be to the point where it was like, well, even the small guy that's trying to buy like the 60 milliliter bottle of e-liquid was looking at maybe adding additional $40 to a 60 milliliter bottle of e-liquid. So, they were effectively going to out-tax e-liquid beyond cigarettes. I think cigarettes were going to go up $1 a pack. All right, long story short, then they yanked it out because people were moaning about it. There were people that weren't that happy about it. So they yanked it out of the federal spending bill, which, by the way, at this point is not yet passed. They're trying to get it passed. This is the spending bill, the Build Back Better bill. So there you go, 5,500, right? So they pulled it out, and then they wrote in an exemption, and they took cigarettes off of it. So they weren't going to raise the tax on cigarettes anymore. They weren't going to touch cigars anymore. They weren't going to touch all this other stuff that everybody kind of knows is the more deadlier alternative. I don't know about cigars as much, but they've always sort of had a pass in the past. So they pulled it out, and then they shoved it back in. And with all those things taken off, and then the tax wasn't as crazy, but it was still like $20 for a 60 ml bottle of e-liquid. So a 6 milligrams, 60 ml bottle was going to be like an additional 20. And then we all went on the warpath, right? So everybody mobilized, right? CASA put out the calls to action again. We had everybody calling hotlines and trying to contact your senators and get them to oppose that. Found it very fortunate that there were some holdouts on the side of the aisle that we would not normally have expected to hold out, but a lot of people took exception to it because, first of all, it was going to unfairly tax people who were lower than the $400,000 earnings mark, which we were told there was no more new taxes for people that made less than $400,000 a year. And then on top of that, it just a lot of people really didn't see any sense in it. The reality of it is that we were going to be out taxed and used to fund the Build Back Better bill. So let's talk about that article, right? So here we are now, halfway into December. As of December 9th, the $9 billion vaping tax. Oh, sorry, visuals. Hold on. Visuals. Gotta go visuals. Hold on one second. What order am I in here? There it is. Okay, share. Okay. Bam. All right. Yeah, so it was effectively going to amount to be about a $9 billion tax proposal that was buried into the Build Back Better bill. So as of December 9th, it's been now dead on arrival. It's been completely pulled out of the bill altogether. So it's DOA right now. Now, who's to say what the future will hold? We don't know if they'll still try to pursue this moving forward, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty much dead in the water for quite some time just because they yanked it back out. And this was actually, like I was saying, the smaller version of the bill after they had a singular revision a little bit earlier before a couple months ago or a month or so ago. The smaller version would have imposed a tax on vaping products designed to parallel the existing cigarette tax of about $1 per pack. I don't know how the math works out on that. I don't really see the relevance there. When you really kind of look at the number and that chart, I don't know how they could equate it. I think vaping products would have been taxed beyond recognition. The bill would have exclusively taxed e-cigarettes, vaping liquids, and oral nicotine pouches. And just so you know how close this was to becoming a reality, as much as we were fighting it, that bill that it was buried in, it was pork and buried in the bill, had actually already passed the House. So we were now at the Senate level, and that's really the final step before it gets to the president's desk and he signs it into law. So it was just a component. Obviously, the Republicans drew objections to the tax that burdened that would have burdened people who fall below the $400,000 earning mark, because people who are more inclined to smoke and vape and stuff fall well below the threshold. So certainly the applicable element would have been taxing people who weren't supposed to be incurring any more further taxes. Similarly, it would have affected those below the, like I said, $400,000 income barrier, as vaping is more demographically prevalent in the low to middle income consumer space. Some Democrats, there were a few, but those votes are important to getting that bill passed, were holdouts on that. Joe Manchin was one of them. Cinema was another one. She didn't agree with it, and then the one that the letter was written to. Liana wrote a letter to that particular senator. We read it on the show. I forget her name, Liana. If you're still here in the chat, you can mention her name. But she did kind of pop up into current news or more recent news as being someone who strictly opposed that specifically. But they would not have given their vote for the Build Back Better bill had that not either been, the vaping tax bill, been dismissed or removed completely from the package altogether. So that was pulled out, among some other things that are irrelevant to vaping. Some would say that they didn't care so much about the vaping tax or the nicotine tax. They cared more about some of the other things that were pulled out, but it was a bit of their gripe. So yeah, so here we are. There you go, Catherine Cortez Mateo, and she opposed it vehemently as well. But here we are on the other side of that, right? So now it's been pulled out. It's dead in the water. We can rest a little assured that we're not going to incur a massive vape tax. This does not dismiss any of the local states who pass tax laws on their own. So I know that people are still suffering out there, and those are 65% in some cases to up to 95% tax on the wholesale tax on e-liquid and vape devices and stuff like that. So there's still people suffering from that. So my takeaway on that was that we've dodged another bullet. But I don't think anyone here in the vapor space can rest easy on this one. I don't think that we can just kind of drop back into punt formation and just think, okay, well, here's another case where we had another scare. If we make a little noise, it'll just go away. I just think it's smoke. It's smoke and mirrors, right? So this comes out. I don't think we can just rest easy and think that we'll always be able to dodge these bullets. Eventually, it's going to catch up to us. So I think at this point, when you see now that it's been pulled out, it is a win in that sense. But we still have the PMTA approvals looming. There's still a lot of gray area mixed in with that. They do kind of hold a lot of the cards in their hand, and they could only legally allow tobacco flavors and not all the other flavors that we we so much enjoy. And then you still got the states and local governments who are still trying to press the issue. So I think you see that success, it should invigorate you, and that you should stay on the gas just as hard. I mentioned this in a tweet on my own page. I just don't think that you can just kind of kick back and relax. I think now's the time to kind of, keep pushing just as hard, or if not harder, and stay loud and keep talking and keep reaching out to your senators and keep fighting for that thing that's saving your life and plenty of people around you. So, don't relax, Don't think that you can just wipe the sweat off your brow. Small celebration, and you move into the next day, and you keep on fighting. So there's that. All right. So good news, right, everybody? Round of applause. Vape tax is off the table. Everybody celebrate.
Yeah, buddy.
Everybody celebrate. Just a little. Yeah. Can we get the clap in there?
Yeah,
Find
I
that
get
button, John. You should have it. You should have it macroed to your keyboard there, buddy. There you go.
You can do
All
that
right.
now.
Yes, you can. You can do that now. All right, so let's move on. All right, so, oh, wait, where's my second one? Okay, bam. Now, this one's a no-brainer. I just wanted to talk about this a little bit, and I think we kind of, we talked about this kind of like when we were talking about the $20 gifts and stuff like that. So this is a recent study that came out, done by a couple different colleges, and they found out some very interesting information. And it's really not that interesting in the sense that this has been studied before. But the only reason I felt that this was relevant to talk about is because this is coming from some universities, research departments that are native to the United States, which typically you don't. When you see universities studying stuff about vaping, it usually ends up being followed up with some big negative article about how they found all kinds of toxins and deadly things and metals and how it's going to kill us. So this one was a little bit more on the positive side of things, but it's a concept that I don't think is that far off from what we probably already know, and I think it makes a lot of sense. So the bottom line comment is e-cigarettes with cigarette-like nicotine delivery may help some people to stop smoking cigarettes, according to Penn State College of Medicine and Virginia Commonwealth University. All right, so for all you collegiate folks. But yeah, so I do think it means a little bit when you're talking about these particular colleges actually conducting this particular study. They also agree that by switching to e-cigarettes, users may reduce their exposure to certain carcinogens or cancer-causing substances. Duh. So there's that, right? So that's two things that are kind of important right out of the gate. So they did a 6-month study, basically. They followed 520 smokers who were looking to reduce their smoking cigarette consumption by at least 50%, but had no immediate plans to quit smoking. They wanted something to help them reduce their smoking, but had no intentions on completely quitting. The observation was actually pretty simple, in that they observed whether or not the use of various end systems resulted in reduced cigarette consumption. So participants randomly received one of 4 things. All right, so they were given either a vape device or a setup that utilized 36 milligram nicotine level nic salt, obviously. They were given a smoking substitute. So I'm going to guess it's probably some kind of a smokeless substitute, like maybe nicotine pouches, potentially an NRT. I'm not really sure. They don't divulge exactly what that smoking replacement element was. And then they were also given, one group or study group was given a vape device that had 0 milligram nicotine, and one group was given 8 milligram nicotine levels. And they studied them for 6 months. And so throughout the study, they encouraged participants to reduce their cigarette consumption. At the end of the 6 months, significantly more participants who received the 36 milligram reported remaining abstinent from cigarettes compared to the other study groups. So that's important to note. The researchers encouraged participants to reduce their cigarette consumption by 50% and then 75% for the 6-month period. All the while, now this wasn't just, hey, here's this stuff, go ahead and try it, and then we're going to give you recommendations for cutting back on your smoking. But while they were following up with them on the reduction in smoking, they were also measuring cigarette consumption and various biomarkers such as exhaled carbon monoxide levels during the 8 follow-up visits over the 6-month period. So here's the bottom line results, and this is what they determined. Not to mention that they weren't exposed to as many carcinogens as in smoking. Now, mind you, a lot of these people were dual users at the same time. So they found that participants using the 36 milligram nicotine levels, 11% of those reported cigarette abstinence at the 6-month mark. As for the 0 milligram group, only 1% remained abstinent. In the cigarette substitute group, 3% were abstinent. And in the 8 milligram group, 5% were abstinent. So it's kind of in line with some of the data that we had seen before with other NRTs and how vaping compares or measures up next to NRTs. And we found that vaping was at least twice as successful as compared to the standard NRT or gums, patches, therapy, or counseling, I think is what they called it, or medications, things like Chantix and stuff like that. So they determined that if the replacement therapy had similar cigarette-like nicotine equivalents, they were more likely to abstain. And that's been an argument in the vapor space for quite some time, is that in order for vaping to be a true success to helping people get away from cigarettes, and they're not addressing people like ourselves, people who have been vaping for quite a period of time already and have already kind of taken the journey and started at one point, and we've kind of ended up at point, B and C and D, and in some cases people are down to 0 nic or have even quit. This is addressing the person who's still smoking 2 packs a day, a pack a day, 3 packs a day. It's very difficult to get them to stay consistent and continue vaping unless you're giving them a product that kind of equates to what they were using at the levels that they were smoking at the time they wanted to quit. So it's all really relevant, which is why a lot of the advocates, and all of us here included, would say, well, it's tough to say that you would get rid of Juul. It would take 50 milligram nic salt off the market. It may not be for everybody. It may not be something you need, or it may not be something that you think is reasonable to be there, but there will be people who need that in order to help them transition. So it makes sense for a period of time, not something that persists, but they may need to start with 50 to 60 milligram nic salts in order to help them break that habit. In addition to having higher quit rate at the end of the trial, the 36 milligram group reported more days without smoking cigarettes. So that was a success too. So they were also looking at that factor, right? Because they told people don't just flat out quit smoking altogether and only transition to vaping. They were like, try to reduce your smoking by 50% and then try to get it to 75%. So they were giving them goals to shoot for. But what the people with the 36 milligram were reporting or self-reporting is that they actually went days without cigarettes in between, and they stayed with the vaping alone compared to those that had lesser levels of nicotine combined. And they made the claim that the results of the study reflect many patterns of ENDS use that have been found in many other similar studies, which I noted in the beginning when we were talking about this is stuff that's been studied before. So I think it's important that, United States colleges are actually acknowledging this. They admit that ENDS are not a magic bullet, but that the evidence does support the idea that ENDS with cigarette-like nicotine delivery may be critical to helping people to quit. Now, here's the kicker. Somebody had to fund these colleges to do this particular study. So are you interested to know who funded this?
Tell me, Tim.
I will tell you, John. The National Institute on Drug Abuse of the National Institutes of Health grants, and the Center for Tobacco Products of the FDA. So the FDA, the tobacco contingent also funded the study. Now, I would like to argue that a lot of times when you see federal agencies like this get behind a particular type of study, typically they're looking for results that favor them. So in this particular case, they did not favor them. They actually favored the other direction. But the irony in all of this is FDA and CDC and many of these other organizations at one point did endorse vaping.
Yeah.
Now they don't. But this study sort of proves that point even further. So I hope with any small grain of salt that they take these study results into consideration when they're talking more about legislation, regulation, and the PMTA, right? Because they're proving that these devices do help people quit based on that study. So I think that's an interesting study, even in and of its own right, and one you can share with people when you're talking about it. You can say, look, people that are vaping the right thing for their particular transition, as long as it's equivalent to that of a cigarette, it will help them in the long run and could lead to them being more successful at quitting. The vaping is not a bad thing. So there's that. All right, so that's your 2 articles for the day. Now, the last thing, advocacy. Let's talk about advocacy. I looked around. I couldn't find anything that we particularly needed to specifically stand up and fight for. No particular calls to action. I think most of the state level stuff has either been passed or will go into effect. I can't think of anything specifically that's open and standing that people can fight against. But what we can do is this. And this is something that you can find through CASA. It's something that's done every year. It's the 2021 Vape Consumer Survey that's out there. And from an advocacy standpoint, I think this is an important survey. John, I'll send you the link, or I can
send me the link.
I will send you the link.
You could do it too.
I can do it. I'm going to post it here in the group chat.
You got the power.
All right, I just put it out there. It's important for vapors to not only share their stories wherever and whenever possible, but I do think that it's also important to take surveys like this, because it's data like this that's used to make solid arguments about vaping helping people to quit smoking, right? Because they always say there's not enough evidence and it's purely anecdotal. So this is a vaping survey that gathers data that CASA and some of the other vaping organizations can use to show results based on people that were polled in the survey, how vaping effectively helped save your life, and the products you use and how often you use them and what it helped you to transition and stuff like that. So help build these numbers and help build these data results so that we have information to go to the table with, and we can give percentages and numbers and things of that nature. So I encourage everybody to go to that link and take that survey. I'm not sure. I actually have to take it myself. I didn't realize that it was out, so I'll take it before the end of the year, probably tomorrow or tonight before I go to bed. But either way, I encourage everybody to take that. And this is advocacy in and of itself too, because you're helping other advocates to fight for you. So with that, I think I'm just a slightly bit over, but that's okay. That's your news for the evening. Back to you, John, in the studio.
Thank you, Timmy. I'll remove that right there. Mr. Paul, you have any world advocacy news you want to share tonight?
The only thing I want to talk about is what's going on in China. And exactly, the last few days, it seems that China now wants to start regulating vaping. But some of the draft proposals that have been put out there are quite strange. Look, I'm also going to share a screen, and this is a comment here from David Forsyth in the US, and this is a very big question mark as to what is really going to happen.
It's huge.
This is really, really interesting, because I've been in meetings all morning regarding this, and we're trying to get to the bottom of it, and I'm also trying to get exactly what is going to happen. I've even got one of my Chinese colleagues translating some of the document for me, and just to make sure that we're not missing out on anything. Will China wipe out vaping in America? Some of the new regulations, it hasn't been signed off on yet, but some of them include a 20 milligram nicotine limit, a ban on synthetic nicotine, which would effectively shut down the whole pod market right now, and disposables, because most of them have actually switched to synthetic. A ban on open system devices. Regulations seem to include exports, and China produces 90% of the world's ENDS devices, including disposables, pods, and mods. Then if we read down a little bit, it goes, Article 36 includes exports as currently written. The comment period ends tomorrow, right? So if you are in the industry or you're very interested, dive in. And I love how he put this. The Department of Policies, Regulations and Systems Reform, otherwise known as the State Tobacco Monopoly Administration, okay? And this is in Beijing, China. Then we roll down to some of the other comments and people that have actually put their 2 cents worth in. It's almost like, and I like this comment, it's almost like the FDA, the WHO, and Bloomberg wrote this whole scenario. It's bizarre at this level, right? That we've even got to this point. But there now, and then Marshall Keith pipes in and says this is only domestic, no restrictions on exports. But now that I'm having some of this translated from the original document, I thought, well, hang on a second. Like Article 36 includes the exports as it's currently written. So we don't know what the hell's going to happen. So we know that the big five, Aspire, Small, well, Relics is in there now. Who was the other ones? Aspire, Relics, Small, I think Vaporesso, Unican, and there was one other company that I read. They're all looking at this very closely because a lot of them have actually changed their business model. If this comes into effect, what the hell is going to happen? How and or why? It seems that
vape gear.
Well, it seems that they've cherry-picked the 20 milligram limit from TPD. The synthetic, well, a few states in the United States have already banned synthetic. And open system devices. Where have we heard that one before? That falls under the prescription model and pods.
Model, yeah.
Are they going to play that game? We don't know. But that's something that everyone needs to keep their eye on. As I said, I've been in meetings since 6 a.m. this morning, my time, trying to get to the bottom of this. No one really knows what's going to happen, but by regulating the whole industry in China, they could set precedent for the rest of the world with this.
Yeah, it can also price a lot of those items a lot higher. You might end up having to pay close to $200 for a mod.
Well, manufacturing, okay. They'd have to bring in rules on manufacturing, yes, and safety issues, yes.
Yeah.
Right? Where is it going to end?
Yeah.
That's a really big question.
Hey, we should put all our money together. We should put all our money together and start making mods here in the US.
Buy yourself a 3D printer.
That's
Simple.
all you need. High-end industrial 3D printers.
Yeah. I'm going to watch this very, very closely.
Yeah.
And whatever I find out, I'll put into the group and make sure it's available to everyone because
That's
It
huge.
scares the living shit out of me.
Maybe I should stop giving my stuff away.
Oh, well, you can always do that. You're helping people out, you goose. But-
I know, but I might end up with one mod and nothing left.
And I'll go back. I'll go back to saying this time and time again. If you've got someone that vapes, teach them how to build a coil, how to look after their equipment, how to troubleshoot if there's an issue. Teach them even how to make a very basic liquid to keep them off the cigarettes.
Yep.
Help each other like we used to. Rourke said something earlier on, and he said hanging out in the vape shop, building coils together, talking, having a beer, making liquids and throwing stuff around.
Yeah.
That's great. I want to see more of that come back, but we're being pushed into such a corner now that if we don't keep fighting, but
Yeah.
I'm just going to have to wait and see what
Yeah,
happens.
that was the nice part over here in Modesto. One of the shops that's an actual vape shop was Planet of the Vapes, and they used to have Build Sunday, where they had these tables set out, and you could come in on Sunday, and I think it was from 10 to 12, and you could sit there. You had to bring your own wire and your own tools, but they had 3 or 4 guys there just walking around the table, showing everybody, starting out with just a simple single coil, single wrap coil, single gauge, it was a great little class. I didn't take it. I was more advanced at the time, but it helped a lot of people just, make a simple coil, and save yourself. And that's crazy to see a shop doing that, because, there's a lot of money in pre-built coils for shops, but to have a shop come in and do that. We're going to do the Twitter shout out, and he will be a guest next week, correct? Yes. So I said, why not do the shout out tonight and let everybody know who this gentleman is? And I'm not going to try to say his last name, but Dr. Mendelson. And let me put up his page real quick, guys. Hold on here. Head on over there. He has written a book that a lot of us have. I think I bought mine today from Amazon.
Mine will be here. I think it said January. So
January.
Gotta love Amazon.
All right. Yes, and that is his. Let me put it in the chat too. Head on over there, give him a follow. He just put out a book in November, right? November came out the book.
I received my book last week. Yeah. But I think every doctor's office around the world should have a copy of this. Enough is enough. Because this goes through everything. Absolutely everything on vaping.
And that is the name of the book.
Yep.
Stop Smoking, Start Vaping. Go head on over there, give him a follow, guys. He will be on the show with us next week to talk about his book and many, many other things. I'm interested. I did some digging on him today. so I got a lot of questions for him. And
I think everyone's going to have a lot of questions.
I looked through his history and what he's done, up until today, or with the book. But he's lived an interesting life, and I'm kind of curious to see how he got into all this. And it'll be nice to have him on the show and talk about his book. And I know I saw a lot of tweets about it the last few days, so that's really good. Hopefully it gets out there and people give this book a read. So
it goes through absolutely everything. Okay. Let's go through some of the chapters. We've got part 1, the evidence on vaping and nicotine. Part 2, start vaping. Part 3, controversies and solutions. And then it goes through case studies. There's 15 case studies that are written throughout the book. There are pictures.
Yeah. Oh, pictures. Yay.
There you go, John. Now you can read it.
But,
it's your book.
Yeah, but look.
Yeah, it's
people with short attention spans and things like that. And they
Shut up.
and they see a picture, and it helps. But it goes through it goes in then to starter kits, intermediate, advanced, pods, disposables, absolutely everything. And honestly, this should be in every doctor's office.
Luke,
Well,
you got to
like to
be
know
my
if it's a
Luke.
scratch
You
and
got to be
sniff.
my brother. Luke,
Oh,
we must be
God, here we
related
go.
because
Scratch and sniff.
I was thinking the same thing, Luke. We must be related for some reason.
Look,
No,
I
actually, you
would
know what?
love to have scratch and sniff internet. That'd be
Yeah.
great. But
Yeah.
that'd be a bit
For
weird.
some
too.
things. For other
Yeah,
things,
some-
no.
Well, remember when we were younger, they were talking about having like movie theaters where they're actually you could smell. They'd have smell and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
smell-o-vision.
Smell
And
of
can we
vision.
answer this gentleman's question?
18650 15 amp battery. I'm looking to get into mech mods and want to know what you recommend. Well, there's only one that's out there that everyone has been using, and that's the LG.
The brownies?
No.
No.
18650. 18650. Yeah.
Yeah.
My mind went to 21700. I was thinking right at that LG battery. But yeah, the LG, if you can find the browns, I don't think you can anymore,
Yeah,
right?
but
The
in a mech
P26A.
mod, in a mech mod, I'd
Yeah.
look for something a little bit higher than the 15 amp battery, 25
So would
or
I.
25.
Tim, you're muted.
Oh, I said the Molicel P26.
The Molicel, yeah.
They work. VTC 5As,
Yep.
Sony VTC 5As, they're a known performer. Molicels are great performers. Some of the Galeases are also good.
Can you get
They work,
Galisi
but-
anymore? I haven't seen those available for.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
all right, good.
And this is a great page. Who was that anyway? I forgot. I didn't remember the name. Who
Trazen.
was it? Oh, Trazen. Yeah, I'll link you to the page. I will put it in the chat there. Great. I don't know if you're on I don't know if you're on Facebook. I think he has a website, right, guys?
Yeah,
Yes, he
or you
does.
can just you can Google Mooch's recommended battery list, and you can find him on.
Or just
message
go right
board.
there.
Yeah, right
Right
there. Yeah,
here.
the ECF
Yeah, there you
thing. Yeah.
And I will put it in there as well for you. And he was on YouTube, wasn't he?
Yes.
I think he
Was he-
did. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah,
For-
you'll see
for a
it.
minute.
It's on there. And that'll have a list of all the batteries. And I would recommend what Paul said down there in the bottom. I would go higher than 15 amps.
Yeah, 15 amp I'll use in anything under about 20 watts. But
Well, 15 amp, that's a Samsung 25R.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I would go a lot higher. For
Yeah,
sure.
Rock seems to
VTC
think
5As still work.
that we won't be able to come up with questions that the good doctor hasn't touched base on.
No, actually, you know what, too, guys?
Challenge.
That's a great Christmas gift as well. That book is a great Christmas gift.
Yeah.
I
I just looked. Mine will be here the 28th.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's not a bad Christmas gift. These are people that we should be supporting that are out there. You know,
Absolutely.
These are that are getting the information out to the general public. Hopefully, somebody that is a non-vapor, non-smoker picks it up. Maybe takes a look at it. That great title. I think if I weren't, I think if I wasn't a smoker or a vapor and I saw that sitting on somebody's coffee table, I think I pick it up and give it a read. Just
I'd
to
give it
see
a
what
once
the-
through just to see what the hell it's about.
Yeah. So think about that and look that up. That is on Amazon. Actually, I actually have the link because I have the link on my page. But I'll put it on there if you guys are interested in looking for that book. Here, it's right here. I have it right here. Free
Hey.
delivery. I get mine December 18th.
Nice.
Well,
Mine was not
18th through
available for
It says
delivery.
December. Yeah. This is the link. I will put it in there. Unfortunately, sorry guys, Amazon's links are huge, but I don't know. Can you click that link? It broke it down into 2 links. So yeah, so never mind that. But if you're looking for the book on Amazon, just simply type "Stop Smoking, Start Vaping: The Healthy Truth About Vaping," and it'll take you right there. It's a paperback book. It came out November 26th of 2021. And like
the
I said,
first
these
link
are the
does work.
yeah. Oh, it
It'll
does.
take you
Okay,
right to the
good.
book.
Okay,
Yep.
good, perfect. Yeah.
And can we mention who else we're going to have on the show next week?
Yeah. We might get a bit rowdy in here, though.
Yeah.
So who wants to say it?
Yeah, go ahead, Paul, because Paul got him to come on the show. Paul, who's going to be joining us with the good doctor next Wednesday?
There might be beer involved.
Their beer. Hey, I'm in.
There's definitely going to be beer involved
The
because we're also
Vaping
celebrating
bogan.
my birthday.
Bogan.
The bogan.
The bogan will be
Vaping
here.
bogan in the house.
These guys are not participating, but I am going to have. They will be participating in the beer. We're all going to have a beer from our local breweries here in town.
Who's not? The lower people aren't participating.
No.
No,
You
we're
guys
all
are
doing
participating. But I am going to be wearing an ugly sweater.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm not participating in that.
No.
I will be wearing an ugly sweater and a Santa's hat, and I won't be wearing the Santa Claus underwear that Becky sent me for Christmas. I'll be wearing those.
And we'll also be celebrating my birthday because it's the day before.
Yeah, I was just getting to that, and it is Tommy's birthday. We will be celebrating. It's going to be one hell of a show. So, come join us next week. I will be promoting next week's show all week. So it'll be on Twitter and it'll be on.
Luke, you're in trouble.
Morgan, you can knit 4 sweaters in a week.
She could do it. She could. She won't be busy because she'll be knocked out of the playoffs by this Sunday. So fantasy football stuff. So she'll be sweater making. But I will be wearing the ugliest fucking sweater you ever seen in your life and drinking a local
of your face
beer.
all over it.
Yeah. No, I have the shirt that was custom made for me by my son. It's my picture of my face vaping, and it says "Vape God" #Vape God on there.
Wow.
Oh, all right, guys, we are done. Anything else you guys want to get out there?
Nope.
Love you guys.
Yeah,
Tim went with the
what Tim said.
What Tim says, and I say the same thing. We appreciate every single one of you guys that come on every week with us. We love seeing comments from you guys. We love seeing participation from you guys. Head on over to Dr. Collins' Twitter page. Give him a follow. Go check out that book. Come join us next week. He will be on with Bogan. It should be. That's going to be 3 Aussies on the show.
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness! I just thought about that.
Out of control. Out of control.
It's going to be nuts.
3 Aussies on one. I don't know if YouTube can handle that.
Oh boy!
All right, guys, we are out of here. We'll see everybody next Wednesday. Peace out, and like Tim says, we love you.
Later, all.
Love.
Deuces.
Peace out.